Yo, welcome to the man cave. Drown they legends. WNBA news. We bout to ring the bell. Leave Diggy, Coach Ed, we got the scoop. On and off the court, watch the power move. Yeah. From the hardwood glory to the locker room chats. We cover it all, ain't no need for no stats. Whoa. Sipping on knowledge, pouring out the truth. Supporting the queens who brings the fire, that's the proof. So sit back, turn it up, let the stories unfold. Yeah, WNBA, we bring the heat, the future's bold. In the man cave where the legends collide. Leaf Diggy and Coach Ed got that East Coast pride. What? WNBA vibes, we breaking it down. From the game to the grind, let's wear that crown. Yeah. Stay tuned in, we keeping it real. The stories of strength and the heart that you feel. Hey. Dishing out knowledge like assists we aim. Whoa. In the man cave where we elevating the game. Okay. So grab your seat, let the action ignite. Yeah, WNBA, we bring it to light. Keep it tight.
What is going on, everyone? It's just a good time right now. I'm just really amped up, really excited. But thank you, everyone, for tapping in, for being here, for rocking with us, as always, on another episode here, talking to WNBA. You know, got a lot to talk about today. A lot of subjects to talk about, you know, about things going on in the W. Also, we're releasing our new name. So we're releasing that today. Also, after we're finished with the W, we're going to transition to talk about the Knicks. Cave and I are Knicks fans, so we definitely going to talk about that. The celebration, celebrate you know the song. So really happy, orange and blue skies. So we're going to talk about that afterwards, and we're going to even open it up to people who want to come on and give their takes about the Knicks. So, but that'll be after we talk about the ladies. So we're going to get into that, you know, as we go along. Our brother Leaf, he'll be here, you know, in a little bit. You know, he's probably out and about, you know, handling business. Family first. We all got family, so we got to handle everything first. So, but before we dive into the show, Cave, how are you doing, my brother?
Man, I am feeling great, man. Hey, both New York teams are doing their thing, man. It looks like the Liberty are back at where they're supposed to be at, you know, but you know, the season is still ways to go in the season, but yo, I'm happy about where they're at right now. And of course, you know, a lot of stuff going on in the WNBA and stuff like that. And then also, you know, the second half we'll do our next thing, but we'll keep that for that time. But you know, right now it's about the ladies. Focus on the ladies. Let's get this out the way with these ladies, man, because they doing their thing.
Exactly. So, thank you again, everyone, for tapping in, for rocking with us. As always, we appreciate you guys. Make sure you guys tap in, hit that like button, sub up, and be notified. So you hit the sub for my man Cave, for Leaf, for myself, Coach Ed Sports, as well as New York Liberty Courtside, the Hardcore Sports Network, and the Aboriginal Sports Network. All that information is there in the description. So make sure y'all hit that, leave a comment. Let us know what you think about the W, what's going on in the W. So appreciate that. So, but we're going to dive right into it. So we're going to start up with Cave's segment. So go ahead, Cave.
All right, man. My first segment, our first question, are the issues between Caitlin Clark and head coach Stephanie White reaching a breaking point? And has Clark begun to wear out her welcome in Indiana, or is the criticism overblown? So, hey, Coach, we'll start with you and see what is your take on this whole thing, even though it looks like they're trying to downplay it, but we'll see, you know, what is your take?
Yeah, so that's kind of where I was going to go, because I'm pulling up an article on from ESPN where White denies there's discord, you know, with the most recent Sun. You know, again, she shut it down. You know, it's being reported that she's shutting it down, but my thing is this: while it's not a major issue, this seems to be a continuous thing. So with it being a continuous thing, it is some type of a problem. It's something there that's brewing, that's festering. So, and, you know, for the head coach, you know, to continuously downplay it, it's something there. Here, as his wife says, she says, I don't think you're talking about journalism. And so if we're going to continue to create news from fans on social media or bots on social media or whatever it may be, then that's a problem, right? I think legitimate news sources need to report legitimate news. So she's basically saying it's social media and the fans that's conjuring up this dispute. But I cannot sit here and think that, fans, social media, bots are really putting this out there to this magnitude where journalists are asking these questions. If journalists believe it's legitimate, they're going to ask the question. They're just not going to ask it arbitrarily just because, fans and social media and bots are out there and, ask or putting this information out there. So I do think there's something there, but I do think it's also more of they really have to continue to work together and become more familiar with each other because it's still new between the two. So is it something major? No. As far as her, wearing out her, with her teammates in the locker room, no, I don't think it's that. I don't think that, because I haven't heard any of her teammates make any comments. So, but you got it, Cave. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, my thoughts on it is it's probably similar to yours as far as like, with they saying there's some probably a division in the locker room or something like that. I don't see it in the games, but hey, sometimes teams can cover it up real well and stuff like that. So it could be something with Caitlin Clark's play on the court. That's the whole thing with the blow up and all that type of stuff. And maybe she has changed her style up a little bit because you remember they were saying Corner Leaf like she was gonna be a two-way player, right? But if you're gonna prove it to me, we're gonna put you on all these pick and rolls and let's see if you're really improved in your defense and stuff like that. So we will see. But yeah, I think it's see with me with her is like this is her third year in the league, so I would think her teammates are really they're all supposed to be bonded and stuff like that. It should be all cool, but sometimes you never know, man. Some people might be like egos. You got to put your ego aside. This ain't college. You know what I'm saying? I know you was a big fish in a small pond, but in the WNBA, you're a small fish in a big pond. So it's totally different now, And, back in college, you used to come down and just shoot threes, from half court or whatever. Now in the WNBA, you really can't do that too much because everybody got to touch the ball got to move, and people got to feel like, they got to be ready and stuff like that. It's like if you come down just throwing the ball up and, and they, shot go up and his rebound, and the team's going the other way because they don't know what's going on, but I think she has tempered down her thing a little bit and stuff like that because the people are winning some games now and stuff like that after that blow up and stuff like that. So I think it's probably a little bit overblown and stuff like that. And Stephanie White, like we keep talking about, she's a veteran coach. She's also a former player. She knows the ins and outs, and, she's an experienced veteran coach. So if she says it's not a problem or she's trying to downplay it, that's fine because guess what? She just got there this year, and that's why they brought her in there. Somebody who could, rein in Caitlin Clark, if you know what I'm saying, because hey, East might have reined her in because you know what I'm saying. Yeah, you are a big, big media presence or something like that for the league and all that type of stuff. If you got a veteran coach who's been there, done that, and played before, and that's somebody you're gonna look up to and respect compared to somebody who never played the game. You ain't gonna respect them. So, I'm with Stephanie White. Is like I said, she said she got under control. She got under control because Stephanie White has won championships and stuff like that. She's a very good coach. So, I think a little bit overblown, but hey, we will see. The season just begin. But if it keeps going on into week the 20th and 30th game, then then there's a problem in there, and it will show because after a while. You know what it said, right? Pressure bust pipes, and what's done in the dark will come to the light. So we will see and wait on that. But for right now, we'll take them at their word for it and see how it goes and stuff like that, and see if that'll turn their season around. Maybe that's gonna make them bond and grow stronger and stuff like that, and we might see a huge turnaround from the Indiana Fever. So be on the lookout for that, man.
Look, here's added to what you're just saying because look, she just hit a game winner the other day. And it's about winning, plain and simple.
Right.
In the end, that's what it is. And I was just looking up her stats. She's averaging 20.3 points a game, 7.8 assists, 4.6 rebounds a game. Now, if there was problems, you would see it in her production. Seriously, you would see it in her production. it's not there. She's up there in points, and I believe she's number one in assists. So
Right.
she's out here doing what she needs to do for her team to help her team win. And just like you said, in terms of her teammates, if it was a problem there, it would be a production. Like you said, in college, yeah, you're going to go up against teams who are not as good as you. In the WNBA, they do a lot of scouting. They prep for you. They make sure that you're there. So she's not going to be able to do that. And like you said, all her teammates have to get touches. She's playing with a better level of team players on her team as opposed to what she had at Iowa, where she was pretty much the whole team. So, but you have Aaliyah there, you have Kelsey there, so you do have other players there that can carry the load, and you don't have to rely on here. What's up, Daniel? Man, thanks for tapping in, my brother. Appreciate you. So, yeah, I don't think that it's that big of a deal to also. So. Yeah, we're just gonna go ahead now and move on and go to the next topic. So, and here you go, bro.
Yes, man. Yes, sir, man. Hey, the duel in the desert, man. Wow. Battle at the OK Corral, a shootout. You know what I'm saying? One for the ages, man. A historic 40-point duel between Kelsey Plum and Kahleah Copper. Where does that rank among the greatest individual battles in WNBA history? If you could just think back in time and stuff like that, man. Because, man, a 40-burger, 2 40-burgers in the same game. I know it just happened with Aaliyah Boston and Caitlin Clark with the 30-point, but it was on the same team. But this is a duel, back and forth, and it was an overtime game too. So it was like a classic, man. So I want to see, Coach, what do you think this rank as far as like the greatest individual battles in WNBA history?
Would I say it's in the top 10? Yes. But trying to think, is in the top 5? You can make the argument there. And look, if it's just about the points, then it's number 1.
Right.
But the impact to the game, it's up there. It's definitely up there. Something that you definitely have to respect. Kelsey Plum and Kahleah Copper are 2 elite players in this league. So, it's something that you definitely have to respect. As Coach Robert said, it was an offensive display by both KP and Kahleah. When they both have it going like that, it's impressive and fun to watch. So that's the biggest things. I mean, think about Plum shooting 14 to 26, 5-11 from the behind the arc, 10 to 12 from free throws. And Plum is leading the league in scoring. So yeah, it goes a long way. And then Copper, 16 to 30 from the field, 6 of 14 from behind the arc, 3 of 6 from the free throws. She's, but also 10 rebounds. She's the first Mercury to score 40 points and have a double-double. Diana Taurasi only scored what?
4 times.
Cooper and retired Diana are the only Mercury players that have scored at least 40 points in the game. Taurasi did it 4 times. So that speaks volumes. So Cooper is the second player in the history with 40 points in a double loss. Lauren Jackson did it in 2007. So like I'd really have to sit down and dissect all the games. But I can sit here and think of back in the days with Cynthia Cooper, and that crew, and then going up against Lisa Leslie, they had some scoring outputs and games out there. So that's just one to think about off the top of my head. So it's like, we could, as I said, Seattle, like we were saying there, Sue Bird and Lauren Jackson. So, it's like, okay, we have to really think about it. But I do think if we sit down and strip it down, I think it would be, you can make an argument, a strong argument. It's in the top 5, in terms of a duel right there. So, but, go ahead. You got it, bro.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. It's like, I think it depends on what part of the season is at. Because if it was in the playoffs, man, if it was in the playoffs, it'd be like top 2, you know what I'm saying? And, and you playing for something. But right now it's only like the 15th game of the season. So it's not, for me, it's just a regular season game. And like I said, Phoenix is not doing well at all. So I know it's a meaningless game or something like that, But like I said, don't get me wrong. There are two great players, Kelsey, Plum, and Kahleah Copper. Everybody know about those two. You know what I'm saying? So it speaks volumes. Like I said, she's one of the first players to score 40 points, other than Diana Taurasi, who did it 4 times in a Mercury uniform and stuff like that. So as an individual game, yeah, it's a great individual dual battle. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't playing for nothing. But now if they were like the two top with the best records and stuff like that, it'll be a little bit different too, because they the two top seeds, but right now they like at the bottom. So it's really like it's one of those like, hey, they can just do what they got to do. You know what I'm saying? Just shoot and just shoot and just shoot. Because if they got it going, they got it going on. But like I said, as far as like a all time, I'll still put it in the top 10. But like I said, because of where it's happened in the season, it cannot get up to the top 5. Or if it's top 5, that's fine between because of the points of 40-something points. But like I said, to me, it's just like what were they playing for? What was the stakes? So it's low. But if the stakes are real high, then yeah. Or if it was in a playoff and it's like if it was in a playoff and they in the series, yeah, I could be like, oh my God, this is great. So.
Yeah, Nick, Kelsey Plum is fine. Yeah, we know that.
Announced because she's just divorced.
Yeah. So I was talking about that earlier, with her and Darren Waller. So
right.
So we'll see. Daniel, what's up, Daniel? So, but let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Man, it was another thrilling showdown between Minnesota and Vegas. The impact to the Commissioner's Cup and the season. So, but go ahead, Cave. You take the lead on this one.
I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm high on the Minnesota Lynx. I've been saying it all season when they had them down at number 8 and 9. Before the season started, because I know I was like, because Fisa's not there. But man, Natasha Howard and Olivia Miles are doing it. And they getting some help from some other people. But man, when the Fisa come back, bro, they're gonna be right there, the top 2 or 3. I'm telling you, they're gonna be a tough out, and they might beat somebody. Might beat the Aces, because they only won by 5 points or 3 points. In a duel,
197, yeah.
And if they gonna keep doing this, like I said, and the Lynx did have the number 1 record. Do they still have the number 1 record? Because they got Liberty, I think, is up there.
Yeah, in overall record, I believe it's. Let me double check.
I know.
I think it's the Aces. Oh no, the Aces just lost, so I think they dropped down.
Yeah.
Here's the WNBA standings. Yes, the Lynx are 11-3, Aces and the Liberty are both tied at 10-4.
Yeah, right. So the Lynx are like I said, for what the Lynx are doing without their MVP type caliber play, that's like the Aces like being this good, and Asia Wilson is out. You know what I'm saying? It's the same equivalent with Nafisa Collier being out. And when she gets back, like I said, man, it's gonna be something. I can't wait to see that showdown, man. When Nafisa gets back to battle either the Aces or the Liberty. Or the Dream, like I said, but the Liberty and the Aces, oh my God, I can't wait for that, because, like I said, Olivia Miles have really helped turn this franchise and give them some hope. Not to say they didn't have hope, but like I said, she's really having them on an upward trajectory and stuff like that. Even this one without Nafisa Collier. So with Nafisa Collier, like I said, they're gonna be a dangerous tandem and stuff like that, man. But it was a showdown, like I said, man. Hey, the Lynx did not back down at all. Like I said, they left everything out there on the court, man, against one of the top teams that was loaded. You know what I'm saying? Because the Aces have everybody, And like I said, the Lynx right now, they're playing with with their hands tied behind their back for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But when Lisa gets back, like I said, it's gonna come on out. And like I said, we all know the type of impact that she makes, and she's one of those impact players, man. So. Yeah, man, this was a thrilling showdown, man. Like I said, one of the better games early on in the season. And like I said, they're gonna have this rivalry gonna be a great rivalry, man, for some years to come. This is gonna be a great rivalry, a great showdown, man. Even when they play the Liberties and stuff like that, man. So, hey, man, Olivia Miles is doing her thing. So right now she's like the front runner, odds on favorite for the Rookie of the Year, man. She keeps it up, and so. Great game, man. Like I said, I know the ratings is through the roof for this game. And like I said, when this game gets into the playoff, if they play in the playoffs, oh my God, the ratings going to be astronomical.
Yeah, I'm with you. First of all, in terms of the game, another great one. I mean, the overall, the stars, first of all, in the game. Olivia Miles, like you said, coming into her own. What can you say about Aja Wilson, and everyone over there in Vegas, Minnesota, like you said, Howard is playing well for them, and this is going to bode well before Nafisa gets there. So, yeah, and then this game in itself, two heavyweights going back and forth at it, and coming in, it's basically a one possession game. 3 points. That's really what it boils down to. So, and as far as the Commissioner's Cup, I think it's Minnesota, especially because the Aces got blown out last night. Mm-hmm. So with that 30-point loss to Dallas, that I think that pushes Minnesota up to the West lead. And especially because the Aces lost by 30 points, so that point differential hurts them. So because that also factors into it. So I mean, I could be wrong. I've always thought it was head to head, but somebody told me recently, no, it's point differential first. Mm-hmm. So, and I'm like, well, if it's point differential, I do believe Minnesota has the lead there. So, and we'll dive into that a little bit later. But, and as far as the season, it's going to come down to those two, battling it out, and possibly maybe for the championship. But I have a strong feeling the Liberty are going to be there too. So, I think those are the three top teams in the league right now. So, and I love it. It draws a lot of interest, to the league. And that's the beauty of this league, the star power in this league, and you're seeing it across the board. Every team has somebody who, is at least a star, maybe not a superstar, but they're at least a star. And, and they draw people that want to see them play. So, and I'm loving it more and more every day, is especially with the expansion there. So
about that game, let me ask you about that. Is this a classic example of a letdown after a big win against when they put
could be,
because to get blown up by 30 points the next, I was like, huh?
Yeah, what's up, Leaf, man? How you doing, my brother?
Leaf, what's good, bro?
What's going on?
Like 30 points you lose to the Wings?
Yeah. So we're gonna get you caught up.
I actually seen that game.
Yeah, well, against Dallas, you mean, or this one against Minnesota and the Aces?
Yeah. I seen the game against Dallas. That they played. I think it was 2 days ago.
No, last night. It was last night.
Yeah. I think it was last night. I'm bugging out. Yeah, it was last night. I thought it was like 2 days ago. That was just a bad matchup. I think that Dallas's guard play and their versatility was just a little bit too much. I think the Aces, I think it's a certain thing. We all heard the saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Mm-hmm. And with the Aces, that is like the highest of the highs. You win 3 championships in 4 years. You're like, you know what? Hey, man, like, let's just I don't think these regular season losses really bother them. You know what I'm saying? I think the Aces have gotten to the point where as long as they finish 1 through 8 before the postseason start, they good. You know what I'm saying? So I think this is one of those, it's we all seen championship teams. They take a little bit of a blunder, you know what I'm saying? Like they take a bad loss here and there. I think last year they got beat by 50 against
Minnesota.
Minnesota. Yeah. So I don't really jump on Vegas like that, because I think Vegas, they understand what they're doing. They understand where they need to burn the most attrition, at a certain point in the season. I think between them and us, I think they know exactly when to turn on the switch and turn it off. But you got to be careful sometimes when you turn on that switch, the light bulb is like start blinking, and it's like, oh yeah, we ain't changed the light bulb. What we gonna do? All right, we got to go out and go get this. We got to go out and get a defender. We got to go out and get younger. So I think the Aces are fine. It was a bad loss. I think it was a bad matchup, but I think the Aces will be fine.
Now, between the Aces and the Lynx, though, for the season, what's your thoughts? How do you think that impacts the season. These two battling each other. Just again, Minnesota and Vegas
in the West.
I would say Minnesota for the season. I think Minnesota obviously needs it a lot more than the Aces, but I think the battle is Minnesota is well set on what they need to do because they got arguably the greatest coach in the league. So I think they understand what they need to do. I think they understand where their bread is buttered. Olivia Miles is she has everything around her, the coaching staff, the players. I think she's been able to yield the ship, and I think she's been able to yield the ship for the season. They got a young group. I don't know what is the comeback timing on Nafisa. It seems like they probably gonna run this most if not all of the season without her, but I would say Minnesota, they on the right path, but I think the Aces, they know when championship basketball is supposed to be played, they know when to turn it up. So I don't think this the regular season, it's not really for the Aces to be number one all the time or number two or top three all the time. It's just for them to get there, and then they'll turn the switch on and off when they need to. I think Minnesota, for a young team with a young guard leading the charge with Olivia Miles, I think it's more important for them to set the tone and to set that foundation to where they want to go towards the end of the season. So I think it's more important for Minnesota to be where they are than the Aces.
Okay. All right. Good take there. Good take. I appreciate that. So, all right. The next subject we're going to talk about, and it deals with Angel Reese and Isabelle Harrison, man. For those who didn't see it, it was a rough play. Isabelle Harrison took down Angel Reese. Now, Angel Reese, there's arguments that she barreled into her, and Isabelle was just making a play, like coming over her back and making a play on the ball, and it looked like she pulled her down. So, there's an article now. There was actually two articles that I saw on Yahoo Sports. Oops, sorry, wrong one. Let me bring it up for us so we could take a look at it. The one that I have right now talks about. Just had it. Here it is. All right, where it talks about WNBA fans want Harrison. I hate these advertisements. Wants Harrison suspended for tackling Angel Reese. So, suspended. Sorry, thank you. It happened with over 6 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. Reese was tried to drive on Harrison as the shot clock was winding down. Harrison, who they were teammates in Chicago, wasn't interested in giving her former teammate in breathing room. So, and it says not only did Harrison wrap her arms around Reese, but she pulled her to the ground. It was a wild scene, and it was pretty rough. So, my question is, with the Flagrant 2, should she be suspended? Because there's another article that says she shouldn't be suspended. So, I'm going to start with you, Leaf. What's your thoughts? Should she be suspended?
No, I don't think so. I think the ejection was enough. Shout out Cottage, man. What's going on? I think the ejection was enough, man. I saw that game, and to my recollection, this all started back in Chicago. Apparently Izzy was not very thrilled about Angel getting that spot back in Chicago over her. So in this game, it kind of fueled up because I think Izzy had got a walking call, and then Angel smacked the ball out of her hand. Angel got a walking call, and then Izzy tried the same thing, but Angel held on to the ball, and she was already telling the refs like, "Yo," so that was brewing from the first quarter. If anybody was paying attention to that, and then Izzy decided to make it a Isabelle versus Angel thing instead of the Toronto versus Atlanta thing. And I think a lot of what had happened was just, the hell with the Izzy was just like the hell with this. I'm doing what I'm doing. ... And kind of cost the team the game because they didn't have Niara, they didn't have any other centers or whatever, and any other bigs to keep Angel off the boards, and that kind of led to that game. Angel, I think, was able to maintain her composure because when she got up, you could see it in her eyes that she was ready to, like, this is about to go down, because this girl done took me down. She been jawing at the mouth all game, and it led to that. I mean, in the situations like that, what I'm saying, it might go overboard, and probably needed to, what I'm saying, in that situation. But I think that was just a case of Izzy just didn't want to play that day. What I'm saying? Like it was Angel had kind of got the better of her a little bit, but I feel like a lot of people on different platforms are gonna say, Angel should maintain a cool, and I think she did the best that she could. However, I think that just came down to Izzy just taking it a little bit personal and turning into a one-on-one thing instead of a team-on-team thing.
All right. So you don't think Izzy should be suspended, though, right?
Nah, I don't think so.
All right. What about you, Cave? What's your thoughts? Do you think Isabelle Harrison should be suspended for the flagrant 2?
Yeah, I agree with Leaf. I don't think she should. I mean, I looked at the play and stuff like that, and Angel landed back on her. You know what I'm saying? Ain't like she slammed her to the ground, and something like that, without breaking your fall. Or I could see if she had pushed her like into the stanchion or something like that and got her hurt. I could see that for a suspension. But the way I look at the play is like, I mean, she got the flagrant 2, got ejected. That's what should have happened. But like I said, because of how she, took Angel down, like I said, now she had took him down, like, to the ground, nothing there. That's different, but she took her down and Angel fell back on her, you know what I'm saying? So it was like a soft landing for me, you know what I'm saying? So I don't think it was much more than that, which was cool, you know what I'm saying? And Angel kind of handled it good, she got up. I mean, she was a little, but she got up and kind of walked away from it, stuff like that. It didn't really escalate to nothing really too big. So that was cool. Now, if they'd got to start swinging and start throwing punches and all that stuff and hair flying all over the place, you'd be like, what's you know what I'm saying? But nah, man, it's like, they ain't fight, so ain't no suspension and stuff like that, man. So I'm cool with that. It was a hard foul. Yeah, it was a hard foul, but it's not too hard, you know what I'm saying? But, like Lee said, it's like they had something going on from their days in Chicago, which, it is. They got it out now, so we'll see.
Well, I'm with you guys. It shouldn't be a suspension because, look, she was kicked out of the game. That took care of the rest of it. So, you just move on from there. So, just a quick update because I'm watching the Indiana-Toronto game right now, and it's tied at 40 right now. So, just a little quick update there. So, speaking of Clark earlier and Isabelle Harrison now. So, but no, I mean, no, I don't think she should be suspended, and I love Angel Reese, and am I protective of her for what she goes through? Yes. But, sometimes Angel Reese, she brings the physical. So, when you bring the physical, other teams step it up and they bring it back. And you know what? Let's bring it on. Let's keep it going. All right. I like that. As a former player, you want to get physical with me? I'm bringing it right back to you. Hey, you want to get dirty with me? I'm gonna get dirty with you too in the pile-ups. But let's keep it going. That's the game. So I leave it there. What's up, Lee?
I think that's the case too. But I think in the case of Izzy, I don't think she knew exactly how to be physical with Angel, because Angel been doing that Angel been naturally physical for years. I just think Izzy just got frustrated and said, you know what, F this, man. Like, I'm taking it to the extra level. Since you want to go there, if I get ejected, I get ejected. But little did she know it cost Toronto. So no,
I'm with you there.
It's a mind tactic. It's the same mind, and I'm pretty sure y'all remember the bad boy. What's going on, RC? I'm pretty sure you gentlemen remember vividly the bad boy Pistons tactics. Because they and you would see it in the newspaper. Like, you would see teams go like, we ain't afraid to fight the Pistons. Joe Dumars would look at that and be like, game's over, because they ain't coming to play a basketball game.
Joe Dumars.
No, I'm with you, bro, and that's the point. That's my whole point. What I'm saying too, you want to bring physical to it. And when you play Angel Reese, some players, they want to try in a sense step up their level of physicality. But like you said, some don't know how to handle it. Some bring it the wrong way. So yeah, I mean, but should she be suspended? Nah, no. I'm not with that. I'm not ready to see. I don't think Izzy should be suspended for that. So so we're gonna leave it right there and we're gonna move on. So we're gonna talk about our Liberty. The Liberty continue their impressive win. 7 straight. I mean, they've won the Commissioner's Cup spot in the Commissioner's Cup in the East. So the question is, what's fueled the dominant dominant run? I'm not going to say start, but the dominant run after going 3-4. Cave, you take the lead right now.
Yeah, I think it's like, what was that stretch that we won like 5 of those games? You remember when I said, I was like, they got to show me when they play like Dream or some of, the top teams and stuff like that. I was like, some of those wins was okay and stuff like that. But I was like, I really need to see if they could do it against the top teams like, Dream, Aces, and things like that. So, yeah, and then I think like a lot of it, Satu Sabli, man, like I said, man, and she's come back, man. She's picked up her game and stuff like that. The passing and stuff like that, different things are going through, like that. Ostia, got to give Ostia a lot of props and credit, man, for holding down the ship, for Sabrina and stuff like that. And Brianna, just like she's turning up a notch and stuff like that. So, like I said, the Liberties are getting their bearings right. And like I said, I always say, like I said, by the beginning of the season, the way the rankings were, I was like, when these teams start getting all their players back from overseas and injuries and stuff like that, then the real, the cream's going to rise to the top and the Liberty's back up there. But like I said, it's going to be the Liberty, the Lynx, and the Aces. Those are going to be the three teams. The Dream is going to be right around there at some point, but, they're lurking right there. So, yeah, man. But like I said, it's been, like I said, the play of Satu Sabli and Ostia and Brianna Stewart has kept this thing going, man.
I mean, I'm glad you talked about Satu. That's what I was just doing. I have something that after Leaf goes and gives his take, but we're gonna talk about Satu in a second. But Leaf, what's your take about what's fueled their run right now, winning 7 straight?
Everything that Cave said. First and foremost, man, 100%. I think Satu has gotten a great shooting rhythm. She's kind of playing herself back into shape, realistically. You can see it like game after game. I think coming off the bench is great for her. I think Ostia, obviously Johannes, obviously JJ, getting her ish together and everything. But I think the main thing, and Cave, I think Cave, you might remember this. There was an interview where Stewie was talking to Miles Turner,
right?
And they was playing a game. I think I think they might have been playing against Indiana or somebody, and they go to a timeout. All of something, Stewie just erupts in the timeout in the huddle. She said, "What the hell are we doing?"
That was a game.
Yo, we know where to attack. We know when to attack. Yo, what are we doing? And she got in a lot of their asses because we remember calling that game, and there was a lot of lackadaisicalness. In that first half, it felt like we was trying to get in the shootout instead of playing our game, which is to be big, be in the paint with JJ and Stewie. We got the best front court in the league, and everybody knows, and there's no question about it. So once that timeout happened, you can see a shift in the team into where JJ has gotten in phenomenal rhythm. Like now, instead of shooting 2, 3, 4 jump shots, she's going in the paint, and then jump shot, which she can stretch the floor. But a lot of the hub is ran through her because they get the ball at the top of the key or at the top of the free throw line, and they play high-low. And Ostia eats off of that. Johannes eats off of that. Now you got Phoebus in the rhythm. And then off our bench, you got Gardner, Laney, you got Satu, and you got Han basically giving you extreme minutes. The gentlemen, I think we have reached the stride I said we was going to reach by game 9 or game 10. I think we've done it. You know what I'm saying? Like while the Aces are doing their thing, trying to just get through the season and just get there because they already had that championship hangover, I guess. We're trying to get back to that, and we're making statements while we're doing it. We're a big team. When it's time to go in the paint, you get in the paint. When it's time to go to the free throw line, you already know Stewie is among one of the best in the league. And then you add Johannes. I think the addition of Johannes and Astier being like 25 to 30 points in the backcourt combined, that's an added bonus with our bench. And I think Stewie, that timeout kind of fueled it, man. I think that was it. That was the injection that they needed, and off to the races. Away we go.
Mm-hmm.
You guys have made some excellent points, and those are key contributions. The depth, the getting players back. Because remember, this run started when Phoebus came back. They haven't lost since Phoebus has come back. So Phoebus, you're getting Carrera back. You're getting, Satu when she came back, and now with Sabrina now, coming back just the other game, her first game back, since the start of the season. This is her second game of the season. So those all contributed too. So, I'm with you guys, but wanted to show you guys, because you just Man Cave, you talked about Satu Sabally. So wait a minute, let me do something first.
I gotta give props to Phoebus and Johannes too, man. They got ball and stuff. It's like they don't want to short them and stuff like that, man. They've been very vital to our success and stuff like that.
Exactly. So it's a total team contribution right now. So look, Van Loo earlier, she contributed too, even though she was a short-term contract. So
You got Hanju, right?
Han, man, I'm loving Han off our bench, man.
Yes. Oh, I've always loved Han. I've always loved Han.
She's out there rebounding now and spacing the floor. When she hits a couple of shots away from the basket, man, that's just incredible. It's absolutely incredible, man. Where we at halftime?
Here I'm gonna play this clip right now. So hold on. But as it says, SSN New York Liberty, it says Satu Sabli's passing ability in this offense allows New York to be so dynamic. Once the rotation settle, expect Satu's passing ability to shine even more, and for the Liberty's offense to be even better because of it. So, but yeah, we're gonna sit back.
Knock this down.
And let me start.
Satu Sabli's passing ability allows New York to do so much with their offense. I wanted to look at her game against Washington, look through the assist, and see exactly what she's able to do. This first play, I love this play. She gets the ball at this opposite wing. Then you see Sabrina Ionescu and Brianna Stewart doing a flex option here where Stewie shrubs off this way. You have Sabrina coming up off top. So if Washington closes Stewie on this drive, you have Sabrina coming up top as an option. But on this play, Satu sees this opening and makes a nice pass over to Stewie for this reverse layup. Right here, you just see simple dribble penetration. She has the size, ability to force this double team down low. Lauren Betts helps over and just allows now Satu to make the correct read over to Hanshu, and her shooting ability has been great this season. She knocked that down for the three-point basket. You're going to see the same dribble penetration here. This time, you force in that defense to squeeze down, allowing Leonie Phoebus to get open for this corner three, and she is just automatic from behind the arc. She's going to knock this down. And then the final play, once again, we're going to see the similar effect, this one later in the game in the fourth quarter, where Satu Sabally, once again, gets this ball in this wing. Then beautiful screen by Sabrina Ionescu. Once again, using that flex option. Now she could bounce out here. And then you have JJ, who can help with another screen, getting Sab open for a three. Or, like we're going to see once again, Stewie is going to get open down low in the lane. Great find right there. The defense is confused. They're falling over each other because it's a great pass, great action, great find, and great finish from Brianna Stewart here. So these plays are just some of the plays that we're going to see more and more from Satu Sabali as the season goes on. And with this option as a play, you
All right. You guys get the gist of it, and you get the point of what's going on. And also, think about it. That was also the projected starting lineup when you really think about it, because it was Sabrina, it was Phoebish, it was Satu, it was JJ, and it was Stewie. And yeah, it causes a lot of stress on the defenses. And then Satu Sabi's passing ability out of that, that flex option, that's going to be, and I'm seeing it more and more, that's going to cause teams a lot of problems. How do you defend that? And, again, yeah, the better defenses are going to step up, and they're going to be able to handle it in a sense, but it still causes so much, because you then also have JJ off of that, with the certain movement. So it's like, okay, I sat and I watched that, and I was like, excellent breakdown there, by SSN forgot his name, whatever. But yeah, he did a great job of breaking it down, and I loved it. I love watching that play and what it brought to the table. Especially, some people might be snoring, but absolutely deliberately are a championship. Yeah, it's aces. Yeah, exactly. And then that's what Cave just said a little while ago. It's those top three, and then the ace. The dream right there behind them. So, but again, I'm loving it, and I'm starting to see more and more Coach DeMarco's offense, what he's looking to bring to the table. And I'm the movement. Again, I love when you see those backdoor plays like that. Cave, as Knicks fan, you talked to me about Mike Brown when he first got hired, bringing that Princeton cut. And I go back to Pete Carell. I don't mean it, but Knicks. I'm talking about the play, because I'm taking it back to the Pete Carell days, to be honest with you. Because you put a big in the high post, and then you cut off of that, or you do certain things. They just turned in your face in it. So that's the point I'm making, because it is a hard motion offense to defend. Because what are you doing? How do you defend it, especially when you have good players there? So, but
right,
yeah. That's good things for the Liberty, and then it helps everyone else, even the reserves, like you said about Han, and Satu, like you said, is playing her way. And think about that, Satu's been on the bench since she's been back. She hasn't been starting. Sabrina now is coming off the bench because of the playing. You can be confident with Astier and Johannes. Yeah, there's sometimes they're up and down, but those girls are ballers, and Astier is proven. She's one of the top rookies in the league. I'm going to be honest. If she was on other teams, easily starting. But because you have, she's starting here, but once Sabrina's in full form, we know she's going to go back to the bench. So
that's going to make up even stronger, right?
Yeah, exactly. So we're going to talk about an article on Bleacher Report, and Bleacher Report gave their top 25 players list. So let me bring that up. Where is share screen? Bleacher Report. Where are you at? Bleacher Report. Here we go. And this is updated. This was today. So they're going to start bottom to the top. So coming in at number 25 is Kahleah Leite from Portland. Before she was on rank. Then you have Sonia Citron at 24. Brittany Skies at 23. Jonquil Jones at 22, and Kayla McBride at 21. So your thoughts about these five right there? Start us off.
I think Kahleah was having a fantastic run early in the season. I think Portland, they had that solid week. I think she's still a solid guard. I'm definitely I definitely will have her on this list. Between her and Sonia, I think both teams are in skids right now. They kind of like in the middle of the pack, but I can see where they both would thrive in their spots on the respective teams, man. So I'm okay with them two right there. Sykes, her and the other girl on Toronto, they've been lighting it up whenever they can.
You
It's
talking
kind
Mabry?
of Mabry. Her and Mabry been lighting it up. 9 times out of 10, when they get the ball, that's the play. But I mean, they definitely been lighting it up over there for sure. JJ, I understand why she moved back, but I think after this week, when they redo the list, I think she's gonna move back up. She's been like the major hub in our offense because a lot of people know, Coach, we talked about it our last broadcast. We had that turnover issue. And we talked about having getting a guard back and this, that, and third. I think a lot of the offense since Sabrina has been out, kind of been ran through Jaquel and kind of been ran through mostly Jaquel and Stewie, but mostly Jaquel because she's been the hub at the top of the key to create motion. You know what I'm saying? Because of her shooting ability and because she could step away from the basket. Sometimes it could lead to turnovers, but I understand that. But I still think JJ is the best 5 in the league, man. Whenever she's motivated and whenever she's on her stuff. Outside of that, it may be Natasha Howard, but I expect JJ to move up. Kahleah McBride, I definitely would have her on the top 25 list almost all the time, man. When she gets going as a shooter, you already know what she can do. So I'm okay with this list for now, man. I think it's some updates to make after this upcoming week, but I'm all right with this list for now.
We'll see. Cave, what's your takes on the players right now?
Yeah, I actually agree with Lee for the point guard from Portland. Like I said, I've seen her play like she's a feisty guard and stuff like that. And Portland was doing their thing. And like I said, they like we said earlier, like I said, like the cream roster top and these other teams are going to start falling behind by the wayside a little bit. But, for the most part, like I said, she's still a good guard, but I think she's right where she's supposed to be at number 25 right there. And, if not, she was unranked before, and now she's finally getting into the top 25, and who knows, maybe she could climb her way back up even more, you know what I'm saying? So, let me see, Brittany Sykes, that's another player. I like Brittany Sykes. She reminds me of like the Kelsey Mitchell type player and stuff like that. Like that, So at 20, was she at 23?
She's at 23.
Yeah, see, all these players is unranked, so for them is like that's good. But Jonquel was like 12, and now she dropped to 22. But that's because the season that she's had so far up and down for right now. But when she gets it going with these other guys, she's gonna move up in the rankings. So I'm not worried about that and stuff like that. Because like I said, the Liberties are bringing it; they come together, so that's good. Kahleah McBride, 21. I'm surprised she's dropped down because Minnesota's had a fantastic season so far. I know it's been Natasha Howard, Olivia Miles, and her too, and stuff like that. So she'll pick it up and stuff like that. But who's the other one? Okay.
Oh no, they're doing these segments of 5. So I'm moving on right now to the next. So coming in at 20 is NECA, 19 is Jackie Young, Chelsea Gray comes in at 18, Aaliyah Boston at 17, and then Angel Reese at 16. So, Cave, I'm gonna start with you now. So, thoughts on this next 5, starting with NECA.
The NECA is at 20. Yeah, but you said NECA is a veteran, man. She's the vet, so back in the day she'd be right there, number one, like the top 2 or top 3. You know what I'm saying? But hey, she's an old vet and stuff like that, but she's still got game and stuff like that. So shout out to NECA and stuff like that. Jackie Young, who I like Jackie Young with the Aces and stuff like that. She's one of their like top players and stuff because when she's on and she's hit, man, they're a tough team to beat. When she got it going on, she's scoring 20-something points, stuff like that. Chelsea Gray, the maestro point guard. The old crafty vet. She's still doing her thing and stuff like that. She's Chelsea Gray, Aaliyah Boston. She dropped down because, like I said, that's because of the fever season, one of the season that they've had so far. But if they were like much better or winning more, she would have been up higher and stuff like that. So I kind of agree with it and stuff like that. And then Angel Reese is at 6, at 20. Yeah, Angel Reese is like, she's going to climb up even more because Atlanta's having a great season and stuff like that. I knew she was going to be one of the difference maker on Atlanta, and they doing this without what's that, Brianna Jones? You know,
Brianna Jones, yeah.
So when she gets back, I mean, that rebound is going to be even more because then the Angel is have another big body right next to her that she really going to do some more work and stuff like that. So yeah, she's going to climb up the chart. So I mean, right now she's at 20, now she's at 16, so she'll keep climbing up and stuff like that. So yeah, I agree with that list, man.
Well, all right, Leaf, give us your perspective so far.
Yeah, NECA at 20, I'm okay with that. NECA, a lot of people that don't know, NECA done has some years in the league. She has some years where she might have easily been top 10. Obviously, she's on the better half. She's on the later part of her career, but she's still effective. Almost anywhere she goes. She was effective last year in Seattle. She's effective this year in LA. Jackie Young and Chelsea, I feel like they interchangeable. I mean, you could go with one or the other. I feel like they always going to be neck and neck near each other whenever the aces are on the board and whenever the aces are doing some things in the top 8 of the standings. So I feel like they'll be right next to each other, if not like 1-1. You know what I'm saying? After that, who do we have? After that? We had
Aaliyah Boston.
Aaliyah Boston. I feel like Aaliyah Boston should be a lot better than what she is right now. I feel like she shows signs of that. And I feel like she got the same thing that JJ has, but like I feel like JJ, when she's motivated, she's the best 5 in the league. Aaliyah Boston, I'm expecting JJ to be far ahead of her. By this time next week, man, we continue on the way we've been playing. Angel Reese is another person I expect to be within the top 15, if not closer to the top 10, because what Angel Reese does is the only thing that impresses people about Angel Reese is the double doubles, because we got a lot of stat nerds and everything. But if you pay attention to her effort and the way she keeps plays alive, and how effective she is in the paint and on the glass as a glass cleaner, man, I think there's always going to be a battle down there. So you got to have your bigs, you got to have your rebounders down there and be ready to battle, because she is always going to give second, third, fourth, fifth effort and maximum effort on almost every type of 50-50 play, on every type of rebound opportunity. You know what I'm saying? In the paint and around the basket, she's a lot much better in terms of taking advantage of her opportunity. So and defensively, it's just energy after energy with Angel Reese. She's not going to wow you with stats. So if you're a stats person, don't look at Angel Reese for stats. You got to look at her for what she does on the court. You know what I'm saying? And I think Angel should be definitely somewhere closer to the top 10.
Okay. All right, let's go on to the next, starting with 15's Kelsey Mitchell, 14 Veronica Burton, 13 Alyssa Thomas, 12 Gabby Williams, and 11 Caitlin Clark. So going to start with you, Leaf. What's your thought about this next grouping of 5?
Kelsey Mitchell, a lot of what Indiana does, Kelsey Mitchell has to get hot in order for them to be successful. You know what I'm saying? I don't think they really have too many games where Kelsey Mitchell draws a total dud and they win, you know, unless they playing against some inferior team. But they've been getting in dog fights with teams that they supposed to beat easy. You know what I'm saying? They got in a dog fight with Chicago, and now they in a battle with Toronto. So those middle of the pack, late blunder teams, they should be able to defeat easily. Kelsey Mitchell, I probably had her right around this spot, if not a little bit up towards the 20th, towards the 20th, the better half of the teams in the 20s. Veronica Burton has been amazing. I think she's been amazing for that Golden State group. I think they kind of go as she goes. I think when she's pushing the pace and when she's getting downhill and when she's doing things defensively on both ends of the court, I think Golden State, they are on their game, and I think they go as she goes. So I'm okay with her at this spot for now, even though Golden State is known to have a little bit of snuds. Alyssa Thomas, I did not have her that high on my list. I did not have a high. Like it's kind of crazy that she is high right now, but I understand it. Phoenix is another team. She is she always pushes the pace. She's a triple double threat every time she hits the court, for sure. But I feel like she was on the better half of that. I mean, Phoenix is a little bit of one of those teams that's like, we put the roster together, but we didn't put the roster fully together. So, but Alyssa Thomas is she still does what she could do. Number 12, Gabby. I think Gabby, outside of Veronica Burton, Gabby has been one of the most important players on that team. She has launched their defense astronomically. I think when we look at Golden State being one of the best, if not the best defenses in the league, it's because of her. Because of her versatility, it's because of her two-way prowess, her ability to affect shots, her ability to be that two-way player and be that defensive presence on the court. I think she has made it. She has tailored that along with Veronica Burton, and I think she's at a good spot. I think Golden State has had those games to where their defense is showing why they're one of the best defenses in the league. Caitlin Clark at 11, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I think she is. We had an episode if not a week ago, if not maybe somewhere in this month, to where her struggles was like literally presentable. We saw it. Cave, you talked about it. You talked about her struggles with turnovers and defensively, she is absolute fish fry. Like it ain't no need to sugarcoat it at all. She is a steak and crab dinner. Defensively, we've seen it. Golden State's seen it. Other teams have seen it. I probably had her somewhere in the back 20th part of the list, man. I don't think. I mean, I understand what she's doing statistically, but I don't think she's been that effective for her team at like Kelsey Mitchell has and like Aaliyah Boston has. I think Kelsey Mitchell, if she's not going, Caitlin Clark is basically a sitting duck in a water full of alligators. You know what I'm saying? So like this is I do not have her that high at all. No.
For the most part, I've been calm, cool, but Leaf, I have to totally disagree with you there. To put her in the back end of the 20th, I mean, she's number one in assists. She's in the tops in offensive scoring. So, and I get what you're saying defensively. You're accurate in terms of the defense, but to say she's in the 20s in terms of overall ranking, no. And I am not a big Caitlin Clark fan, but I also have to be honest and fair, man. Now, if you want to say here to the 15 range, I can rock with you, but to say you're going to put her on the back end of the 20, that's harsh, man. My personal opinion. So I disagree with you there on that one. So, but hey, that's what we're here for. So, right. I think Cave, you went right. You talked about this, right?
I talked this one.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Like Lee said, Kelsey Mitchell, a lot of their things, the reason why they're there is because of the season that the Fever is having, though. So like I told you, if they having a different season, yeah, they'd be a higher. Just like I wish she was number 8 last week. Now she dropped to 15. But Kelsey Mitchell is she's one of the backbone of that team, man. Like I said, as she goes, they goes, because if she's cold or she's not doing nothing, yeah, they're gonna have a little bit of problem. Because you got Leah Boston and Angel Clark, but she's like the spark plug for their for their offense and stuff like that. Kelsey Mitchell, because she can get a shot on anybody. She can create her own shots, and she can make shots. She can make pressure shots. That's another thing is that when you can make pressure shots, and that's a special trait that a lot of players don't have. So but at number 15, like I said, that just depends on their record and stuff like that. Now, number 14, Veronica Burton, she moved up to number 14 from 21 because the Valkyries, like Lee said, one of the better defensive teams in the league, man. The Valkyries are a team, like I said, you haven't watched some girls play, man. Them girls can play some defense out there and stuff like that, man. Go check them out and stuff like that. And they have beaten some good teams. They're gonna get some of them teams because, like I said, they got the size to match up with these teams. They got the speed, and like I said, once you can play defense, hey, you can slow down a lot of teams, man. They're gonna be in a lot of games. They ain't gonna get blown out a lot, but they'll be in a lot of games because of their defense. Number 13, Alyssa Thomas. Like I said, she was number 3, but like I said, she's having a terrible season. Season, you know. And Alyssa Thomas there, like I said, Kahleah Copper, and after that, what else? You know, so it is what it is. But Alyssa Thomas, like I said, don't ever underestimate her, man. She's a dog. She's a dog on anybody. Like I said, she's one of the top defensive players in this league, man. Like I said, can't take her lightly and stuff like that. She's always gonna come to play. At number 12, this is one of my favorite players in the league, Gabby Williams. You know, I always want Gabby Williams on Liberty because I feel that Gabby Williams is the one player that can match up with Nafisa Collier on the defensive side for us. So got the size and everything, you know, can slow her down a little bit. Not to say she's going to really slow her down, but she would give us that defensive presence. Like, yo, we got somebody that, you know, can give her some problems. And Gabby Williams, like I said, anywhere she's gone, she's been a defensive player and stuff like that, man. She's one of the most underrated players to me in the league and stuff like that. You know, and I'm just happy for her and stuff like that. And she's with the Valkyries too, you know what I'm saying? So she's up to 12 and stuff like that. So it's showing you, hey, the Valkyries got some players ranked up there because they're doing good and they're having a good season. And that number 11 is Caitlin Clark, another one of the problems because of the fever of the season that they're having. If they were number 1, Caitlin Clark would be back up to like number 4, number 3, where she's at. On the offensive end, like I said, she's doing good, but like I said, her problem is on the defensive end. And like we were talking about last week, maybe that blow up maybe she's a better two-way player now. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So we'll find out when we put her on some pick and rolls. We have to put her on some pick and rolls. So he said, "You have to prove it to me." It's like, yo, I don't want you telling me. You got to prove it to me. I got to see the eyeball test. You know what I'm saying? But hey, it's a long season. Well, we'll find out. You know what I'm saying? This is the first blow up. It might be some more blow ups, and you'll find out. You know, so yeah.
Okay. So we're gonna move on now to top 10. Number 10, Jessica Shepard.
Yeah.
Number 9, Courtney Williams.
Yeah.
Okay.
Number 8, Natasha Howard.
Mm-hmm.
Number 7, Alicia Gray.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, what?
6, Kelsey Plum.
Kelsey Plum. Okay, that's it. Number 6.
Stop right there, and we'll take it from there. Starting with you, Cave. Starting with number 10. You have Jessica Shepard with Dallas.
Hey man, Dallas is, like I said, we all said in the beginning of the season, Dallas is the team that we figured is going to take that leap and stuff like that. And you know, they just sent a message to the Aces, but you know, like I said, that's early in the season, so we'll see how that goes later on. But if they put it all together, man, Dallas is going to be a tough out for anybody. Because like I said, they got a backcourt, man. They got guards. They got some good guards back there, explosive guards and stuff like that, man. And Jessica Shepard has been, like I said, she's been awesome, you know, so far in the season and stuff like that, you know. So, and keeping them fly is one of the bigs up there for the wings and stuff like that. Because like I said, they got a lot of guards and stuff. They guard oriented and stuff like that. But she's the big in the middle for them and stuff like that. So she's having a great season. I agree. Her rank is at number 10.
All right, and you have Courtney Williams at 9.
Courtney Williams, hey, what we saying? The Lynx got the number 1 record in a WNBA, and that's a reason why, because of her, Natasha Howard, Olivia Miles, who I know is way up there too. It's like, hey, they are the surprise right now without Nafisa Collier and stuff like that. Tremendous season. They just had a big shootout with the Aces, took them to the wire and stuff like that without their top dogs. So, hey, Courtney Williams, man, what more can I say about her, man? Great season so far.
All right, next, Natasha Howard, former Liberty.
Our running mate right there, Natasha Howard, is having an outstanding season. 18 points a game, 7 rebounds. Natasha Howard, like I said, she's been a big plus for the Lynx and stuff like that. Because without her right there in the middle, it's like it'll be another guard-oriented team again without Nafisa Collier. So she's a big that's really like helping them and stuff like that, helping Olivia Miles with an easy rookie season transition to an easy rookie season. And at number 7, of course, the hometown, the dream, Alicia Gray. Like I said,
yeah, I'll be back, y'all.
Like I said,
Okay.
Alicia Gray, like I said, she really hasn't gone off. I mean, she's having a great season, but I've seen her when she's really going off and stuff like that. She got it going and stuff like that, man. She's one of the best two guards, shooting guards in the league and stuff like that, man. And hey, see, the Dream is having a great season.
Mm-hmm.
Number 6 is Kelsey Plum, and it's not because of the record. It's not because of the record. It's just because Plum is the number 1 scorer in the WNBA right now, averaging 26.6 right now. And man, like I said, Kelsey Plum, man, hey, leaving the Aces, you know what I'm saying, going to the Sparks and all that type of stuff, man. It's like, bro, she was a big piece that left the Aces and stuff like that. So she's doing her own thing over there with the Sparks and stuff like that. Terrific season for her so far and stuff like that as far as scoring. Not so much the record and stuff like that, you know, but close to her and stuff like that. She moved up from number 11 to number 6, so she's climbing up that top 5 chart. So great for her, man.
Yeah, I think if the Sparks had a much better record, you would see her up higher in the rankings. I mean, first of all, leading the league in scoring, but she's shooting almost 56%. And this is from a guard. This isn't from someone in the low post. So that speaks volumes right there. So I'm definitely with you there, Alicia Gray. You know, I can understand this. You know, could you make an argument for her being a little bit higher? I mean, we got to see who's up there, but I could understand, you know, if she was hired. And then, you know, I wanted to get here to talk about Natasha. Almost 65%, 18 points a game, like you said. Yeah, it's the reason why she went from unranked to in the top 10. And she's a key contributor to why Minnesota is where they are and one of the top teams in the league. So I agree with everything that you said there. So we're going to move on now to number 5. So it's Ryan Howard, Breanna Stewart, Paige Beckers, Olivia Miles, and we already know who's number 1, Aja Wilson. So but go ahead, take a start with number 5 with Ryan Howard, another Atlanta.
5. Here it goes. Like I said again, Atlanta's having a great season, man. Ryan Howard, along with Alicia Gray, Angel Reese, and stuff like that, man. Great season by these girls, man. Doing it big, man. Like I said, the whole city here in Atlanta is like really pushing for the Dream and stuff like that, man. You know, so it's a great thing, man. Like I said, Ryan Howard, like I said, when she was out, you know, like the Dream was, you know, they suffer a little bit, but now, you know, she's back, and so yeah, man. So great season for Ryan Howard. I'm glad for the Dream. And then that number 4, Breanna Stewart, our own Stewie. Stewie has let this, you know, like this streak that we were on, like Breanna Stewart has just like upped their game and just like, hey, man, put the team on her back and let's do it, you know, with some help and stuff like that. But Breanna Stewart has rallied the troops, you know what I'm saying? So we say Stewie's a champion and stuff like that. So we already know what she brings to the table and stuff like that, man. So, hey, the ranking is true.
Yeah, I'm with you there. So go ahead, Paige.
Okay, Paige Beckers. Like I said, Dallas again, man. Hey, Dallas. Like I said, they're having a great season so far, man. Like I said, they're gonna get even better and stuff like that. One of the young up and coming teams and stuff like that. And of course, Paige Beckers. Like I said, man, what can you say about Paige? Great player, man. It's like I said, great young player and stuff like that, man. I know she's hurt right now, I think. So
no, she played last night. I thought she was out too, but I saw her out there playing.
Okay, because I know it was an ankle or something like that, but one of the great young players and stuff like that. So yeah, it seems about right with her. 19 points. Like I said, Dallas is doing good. And then at number 2, the surprise of the season so far, man, the rookie who has taken the league by storm, man, Olivia Miles and the Minnesota Lynx, man. Olivia Miles coming there with no Nafisa Collier, man, but she got Courtney Williams and Natasha Howard, and hey, she's doing it in Kahleah McBride and stuff like that. So hey, you got to tip your hat off to her, man. Like I said, what she's doing right now is phenomenal. When Nafisa come back, they're going to be even that much better because everybody knows what type of impact Nafisa brings and stuff like that. And I know nobody had the Lynx like this, you know, without Nafisa. So it's like, yo, man, I mean, what they doing right now, and when they get, and you got to think about this, when Nafisa gets back, she ain't going to have a lot of mileage on her. She compared to, you know, so she's going to be fresh. So she's really going to be giving it to, you know what I'm saying, to the run. When she gets back in game shape, by the time the playoff comes, she's really going to be in high gear, man. So I could see it.
Mhm.
And of course, man, number one, Asia Wilson. Of course, she's always going to be number one, man. You know, first, four-time MVP of the league and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So what can you say? Asia Wilson is the best player in the women's game. She has been for the last ever since she's been playing and stuff like that, man. And she's the role model that every girl now dreams about being. You know, everybody got the one leg. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Mm-hmm.
hey, what can you say about her, man? The defending WNBA champions, aces and stuff like that, man. It's like, hey, man, she is gonna, by the time she's gonna be the number one player of all time. She's breaking all records along the path and stuff like that. I mean, her thing is, it's just set, man. She is on the way to the Hall of Fame and stuff like that. If she stopped right now, she's a Hall of Famer. So it's just like she's just building her resume up even more and more and stuff like that. There's nothing else more you can say. Asia Wilson is the best player, man, hands down.
All right, quick update. Indiana now has pushed their lead to 10 right now, 74-64 with about 3 minutes in the third quarter. So, in terms of the top five, I don't have an issue with the top four. If you want to make a change with Ryan Howard and Alicia Gray, that's probably the only one I would probably consider. But, I don't have an issue with Ryan Howard at 5. So, I mean, this is for the most part, this has been a pretty good, top 25 in the league. So,
right.
I liked it. And when I saw it, I was like, yeah, we definitely want to talk about this. So, so we'll see going forward if there's any more changes as the season goes along. So, and it will be. I think it will be. So, other players may drop out, and you're having a lot of players who were unranked come into the ranking. So, but yeah, we'll leave it there. Players of the week. For those who didn't know, do you know who the players of the week are, Cave?
I would have to say Kelsey Plum is one for the West.
Okay, so you don't. Okay, I'm just gonna bring it up. Hold on a second. I'm looking for it right now. Where is it? I had it. 25 Kelsey Plum favor logo. Wait a minute. Where is it?
East and West player of the week.
No, wait a minute. No, this isn't it. Where is it? Why isn't it coming up on my share screen? All right, there it is. I know it's there. Yeah, I don't have anything.
Well, you can just name them. We'll just go like.
Yeah, it's Aja Wilson, and it's Caitlin Clark. Those are the players of the week. So I'm just trying to figure out why.
Okay, well, I mean, hey, that's an obvious choice. Asia Wilson, as always. Caitlin Clark, I guess, with the Fever is doing the last.
I'll read off because I wanted to read what they were doing. So, here it is. Clark got the East because she's averaging 25.3 points this week, 4.3 rebounds, 6.7 assists. And Wilson, she put up 30 points a game, 9 rebounds, and 2.7 blocks per game, which is why they got those awards. So, and those are impressive numbers. You can't sleep on that. That's something that has to be respected. As far as look, we've been very critical of Caitlin Clark, but for her to put up those numbers, it's something that is to be respected. So, and of course, Aja Wilson. I mean, literally, she could almost get it every daggone week. So, but I mean, your thoughts on that, man? Those two getting the awards.
Yeah, man. Like I said, with Asia Wilson, just like you said, she can get it like every week because, like I said, the Aces are always doing something, and she's always at the center of everything and stuff like that. She's the best player in the league and stuff like that. And of course, when you got one of the best records, of course you're going to be up there week in and week out. I thought it was going to be like Kelsey Plum. You know, the game she had against with some other game. She's a number one scorer.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but which is like I said, it's cool. Like I said, and then Caitlin Clark, like I said, I guess the week that the Fever is having and stuff like the game-winning shots and things like that. So hey, getting stuff like that, man. Got to get her stuff on right and get back into the good graces of stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Exactly. Last thing we're going to do in terms of a couple of things that we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about the updated Commissioner's Cup. All right. And I just had it. Where is it? Here it is. This is the updated Commissioner's Cup standings. What the heck is going on? Why? Whoa. No. Something. My computer's acting up.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why it's jumping all over the place. I just hit it.
Just hit it.
Let me see. Yeah, it should be coming up now. Okay. This is off the WNBA site, and this was posted as of Monday. So the power rankings, but you have the Liberty, who are 5-0 plus 68 in their point differentials. You have Vegas. This was before last night, because you see they were playing Dallas. They were number 2, 10-3, and plus 44. So that 30 points is going to drop them down to plus 14. Minnesota, 10-3 overall, 4-1 in the cup, but they were plus 78. So they're going to now take the number 2 seed in terms of the Commissioner's Cup. Atlanta, which was 9-4, plus 54. Dallas was 9-4 plus 54. Dallas is 8-5 overall, plus 21. Golden State 8-5 plus 20. Indiana's 8-5 plus 24 in their point differential. The Sparks are 7-6 plus 13. The Temple are 7-7, which is minus 20. Portland is 7-8, minus 56 in cup play. Out. Washington's 5-7, minus 37. Phoenix is 4-11, minus 54. Chicago 4-9, minus 45. Seattle is 3-12, minus 66, and 0-6 in cup play. Wow. Connecticut 2-12, 0-5 overall, and minus 44. So that's their rankings. You know, in terms of the Commissioner's Cup play. You know, and the Liberty, they're giving it, you know, rightfully so, because they're undefeated. But your thoughts so far on this? Any surprises or anything like that?
Scroll down a little bit. Let me see like I said, the Aces would have been at number 1, but that 30-point beating they just took, they would have been at number 1 and stuff like that.
And that's going to be 5-1 too. So yeah.
Oh yeah. Minnesota.
Tell me when to stop. You know, you said scroll down.
Yeah. Okay. Go back up.
Okay.
Yeah. See, Dallas Wings and Atlanta Dream. Like I said, yeah, man. Everything is right there. Just like what we said is everything. The top 5 teams are right there, man. 5, 6, whatever they. That's
okay. You're back. I mean, Leaf, you're back. Okay. This is the power rankings for the Commissioner's Cup. I don't know how much you saw. If you need me to go back down, I will.
Number 1.
Okay, any surprises for you, Leaf, or anything of that nature that you?
No surprises from surprises. I was not really. I think the Liberty. I think we took care of business. We took care of what we needed to take care of. The Aces, man, they man, they got destroyed.
Yeah, that's going
by
to change
Dallas.
there.
Yeah,
5-1, 10-4. They're going to drop down to 14. So, Atlanta's 4-2. So they'll be in the third spot.
Right. So Minnesota, at that spot, I think that's accurate because Minnesota definitely been on the
Portland.
run.
Didn't they beat Portland yesterday?
I think so. I think they beat the hell out of somebody.
Yeah, let me double check to see.
I don't know
because that point differential is going to be added to theirs. Let me see, Portland.
They beat the absolute crap out of somebody.
Yesterday, they won. Yeah, they beat them. 107-74. So they beat them like 34 points. So that's pushed them over 100 there. So that's pretty much it. Yeah. Golden State and Golden State and LA might. Oh no, they're already there. So Golden State won by 20, so they're plus 40. And 9-5 overall, and then Los Angeles is 7-7, and that 20 points is going to make them -7 now. So that's it. Doing a quick math update there. So, I'm with you guys. No major surprises or anything right there. So, but last thing we're going to tap into is the show name. For those of you who don't know, we've had to change the name again. For purposes. So, and rightfully so. So, in last week we had a vote, and not really much traction, but we came up with some things, and today, the last minute name of the show is the WNBA View. Oops, that's not the right one. Sorry. Take that one out. No. This is the name, Courtside View of the W. I was supposed to take that other one out. I apologize, everyone. But that's the name, Courtside View. That's the logo. Guys, your thoughts on the logo and the name? Cave, go ahead and start.
Hey man, I love it, man. Courtside view of the W and stuff like that. Because guess what? Like I said, great name for the show. And hey, we ain't gotta worry about nothing else, man. It's like, give these ladies some love and stuff like that. Courtside view, it makes perfect sense to get a courtside view.
Exactly, man. And I like the way it's designed. You even got the basketball court right there too, and of course up top, the shooter with the city outline. So I'm with you. Leaf, what's your thoughts?
Same. When you first told me about the name and sent me the logo, I was just thinking, I'm like, because I like the name, and automatically I just thought in my head. I mean, I'm like, wait a minute, I think it's something that could easily rhyme, and I was thinking, I'm like, courtside view of the W, or in the W. I don't know why I said of the W, in the W. But courtside view of the W. That's kind of catchy. I like it. It's something that you could say, hey, welcome folks to courtside view of the W. You know what I'm saying? And this is episode.
If you want me to change from of to in, that's not a big issue. And then I can just tweak the logo. That's one small minor tweak. That's not a big issue. So,
courtside view in the W. Yeah, I think in the W is cool. I think
thoughts on that?
Courtside view, the W, courtside view
in the W, in instead of.
Yeah, in.
Yeah, in.
Okay. Not a problem. It's going to be done. So I'll work on that logo later on after we wait a minute, let me do it now so I don't forget. Change of to in. Change the word of. So I'm working on. I have to admit, I have these AI systems now. I'm like, I don't know what people talking about nowadays.
That I ain't gonna lie. That Chat GPT, I've been on that for a while. I'm like, Jesus Christ. I'm like, damn. I'm like, oh wow. Yeah,
so I'm on a couple of them. I'm using a couple of AI software, so it's like
I'm only using Chat GPT. I like Leaf is the League logo. When I seen it, I was just like, all right, yeah, this is it right here. I'm like, yeah, Leave Is the League logo.
Playing with
Chat
it more.
GPT. Shout out to Chat GPT for hooking me up with Leave Is the League.
Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, I mean, everything else is fine. You know, the colors I love. You know, it's bright, it's energetic. You know, so the wording you can read, and it's very distinct. So, let me see. I'm taking one last look.
Yeah, man. I mean, people in the chat, man. If you like it, you love it, man. Leave your comments. You know, on the comments, and you know, if you like it, you love it, and stuff like that, man. Comment. You know.
Wait a minute. I gotta. Here, I'm gonna show you guys because it just gave me. Let me take this down and share image. Come on. I swear my computer is really acting up today and it's really starting to piss me off. Downloads. Yeah, this one just finished this up right now. So
there it is, Leaf.
Leaf. I'm going to be honest because I don't like where the is. I'm probably going to adjust that and see if I can move the next to in. But but other than that, I mean, courtside view in the league, in the W. So yeah, we can go with that. I like that. So I'll make that final modification later on. I'm not going to forget that one. So, but we got the name set. So
we good.
Yeah, we good. That's going to be the new name. So, you know, and you know, we'll go from there going forward. So, you know, that's going to be it for the ladies. Leaf, what do you got going on? Because we're gonna transition to the Knicks. So I know you don't want to be here to talk Knicks basketball.
Well, no. Leaf got to be here in the beginning. He got to give his thoughts.
No, he ain't going. But what do you got going on this week?
Let me get my.
This week, I have to set up a lot of stuff for the draft. And a lot of pre-draft stuff. Because a lot of fans is getting on my nerves. They really trying to try me in terms of where we should go and what we should do. I'm already ticked off as it is. The events that happened on Saturday night was listen, what I'm gonna say is this. I want to say congratulations to my father. Who was the first person to put a basketball in my hand. And I sat there for the better part of 30-something years. Him do the Ewan years, what is now known as the Allen Houston and the Nate Robinson years, and those players, and those were good players, but they didn't manage to accomplish what was somehow, some way accomplished Saturday night. So the only person in this world that I'm giving a congratulations to is my father. He's 64 years old this past January, and he was 11 years old 53 years ago. So he was there through in the 70s when that glory was there in the 70s with Willis Reed and them. And as a 64-year-old man, he's there now. Him and my mom, they've been together for 40 years, and they will be attending the parade, which is going on this Thursday. For those of y'all that don't know, they are rebuilding Penn Station. They are redoing Penn Station and everything in Manhattan. They doing Penn Station, and they're gonna redo MSG, the outlays of MSG again, because Penn Station and MSG kind of somewhat connected. That everybody knows. But the only other person I'm giving congratulations to is Jose Alvarado, because he's from Brooklyn, and that's that. But as far as this week go, I definitely got to get some draft stuff going. Obviously everybody in this circle that I sit in is 100,000% ticked off, as we all should be. We managed to do the calm before the storm, but the next season is already underway. You know what I'm saying? The next season is already underway. You know what I mean? The league doesn't stop for nobody. We all know the second that is over, you get right to draft, you get right to training camp, and then you get right to the off-season free agency. And that's all I can look forward to. So I definitely got to get some draft videos going, some pre-draft videos going for and some pre-nets videos going for the draft and going into the draft. So that's what I'm trying to cook up this week if I get enough time to do it. So yeah, that's me.
Okay. Well, in terms of anything WNBA, because I was just looking. I mean, I don't know. I might do the Liberty game on Friday against Washington. I don't think I'm gonna do Chicago, but more than likely I'm doing the Liberty and Sparks on Sunday because, again, don't forget those are the two teams started in Los Angeles. The WNBA started with those two teams, so it's 8:00 on ESPN on Sunday. So I'm like 95% sure I'm going to go ahead and stream that game. So, if you guys want to tap in, everybody is more than, I'm more than happy to have everybody to come in and join us. So,
Sunday,
but yeah, Sunday night, 8:00 in LA, because it's in LA. So that's the reason why. Remember, they started in LA. That was the first game. The Liberty took on LA in LA, and the Liberty came away with the win in the very first game in the WNBA. So. So be on the lookout for that. So, and fellas, look, if y'all are up to it, let me know, send y'all the link, but I understand if you're not able to or up to it. So
definitely send the link because
no. The LA game should be I think the LA game I should look forward to that. The Chicago game and the Washington game, I'm kind of fringe on it. But I mean, we've handled those teams, but LA game I think should be a little bit more historic view. 30th anniversary of this league. I'm very, very thankful that it's came this far. We a lot of good eras, a lot of great players, and I think it's going to be just as good for another 30 years. For sure, man. And I think LA versus New York is the thing. It's a big deal in the WNBA. I don't give a damn about the NBA, but it's a big deal in the WNBA for sure. The Liberty and the Sparks, I'll be there.
I'll make sure once I set it up, I'll send y'all the link. So so y'all have it. So with that being said, we're gonna get ready to transition over to
real talk,
the Knicks talk. So I know Leaf is going to sneak out of here, so you might as well just go ahead, bro. Appreciate you being here.
So get on out of here, man. Get on out of here.
So we're gonna get ready to transition, and I've had my championship ring on. Every time I stream, my championship ring is on. So but what we're also going to do, for any Knicks fans that want to come on and want to talk, I'm going to drop the link in the chat.
Yeah, man.
So this way you guys can come up. The only thing I ask is if you come up, have your don't come up blocking your face. We got to see who it is. Make sure you have a clear, distinct name. That's pretty much it. So we're gonna. Excuse me, I forgot all about that. Yeah, it's been a busy week in New York, huh? Yeah, Jake. So it's been a busy one. So, but let's get it going. Let's start the talk and Knicks championship talk, breaking down the Knicks run, the impact of Jalen Brunson, and what comes for the Knicks, what comes next for the franchise during this off season. So, Cave, first and foremost, break down this championship run in the playoffs. Because you've been covering pretty much everything. So, but talk to us. Break it down.
This has been a historic run for the Knicks, man, in the playoffs, man. Knicks went 16-3 in the playoffs, man. At one point, the Knicks won 13 in a row. And hey, the first two losses was in the first round against the Atlanta Hawks. After that, Knicks ran 13 in a row until the Spurs series, where the Spurs finally won one game out of the series. But the Knicks swept two teams in between that. They swept the Sixers and they swept the Cavaliers, and they almost swept the Spurs, man. If they'd have got that game 3, it would have been a sweep. It was special, man. Like I said, the Knicks point differential, I believe, was like 207 70 something, 75.78,
283.
283-point differential, man, and stuff like that. It was just like a masterful beatdown. And I know some people are going to say about, you had an easy path. It's like, listen, a lot of teams have easy path. Well, it's like, it's not an easy path. If it's so easy, why can't your team do it? You know what I'm saying? It's like, and at the end of the day, you look at it, OKC was the number one team. They should have the easiest path because they better than everybody else. So whoever they play, be nobody. There should be nobodies. They the favorites and everything. And for the Spurs, like I said, the Spurs, who they played Portland in the first round. Playing Portland's like playing like an intramural team. I mean, come on, that was nothing because Portland had no superstar. Damian Lillard was out for the season. They played against nobody. They had no go-to player against Portland. That was a gimme series that was like, like there was gift wrap to them, that series, almost like a play-in team or something like that against and stuff like that. So they had nobody to play against. So they had an easy first round. Now, their second round, I forgot who they played. Oh, they played Minnesota. And then Minnesota again. I mean, Dante DiVincenzo tore his ACL. Anthony Edwards was playing with a high ankle sprain. So they got a break on that one, you know what I'm saying? And then they end up running into OKC. Hey, OKC was doing good then. What's the name? Jalen Williams, hamstring. AJ Mitchell, but hey, it is what it is, man. At the end of the day, like I said, man, Knicks had a historic run, man. And as a Knicks fan, man, it's been 53 years in the making. We are so happy, man. We finally got that monkey off our back. We got our NBA championships, man. So, hey, all the laughing stocks and all those jokes have finally stopped now. The Knicks are NBA champions 2026. And guess what? We are going to have the biggest parade in any sports in modern day history. You know what I'm saying? I can't wait for that. I will, you know what I'm saying? I was able to get up, so I will be attending that, man, the parade. So I'll get up.
Okay.
I'll get up.
Well, see, I saw this. That's why I wanted to bring this up. In terms of this chart that was posted by Paul Gleb, talking about a historic playoff and championship run for the Knicks. I mean, they're first in net rating. Their first net rating ever. First in point differential. Second in highest winning percentage ever. They're first in defensive rating. First in points per game. Most playoffs win over the last 4 years. The first team to win the NBA Cup and the title in the same season. First with the road wins. I mean, they had 9 straight.
9 in a row.
Yeah, most final road victories. Most games won by double digits. 12 of the 16. Second longest winning streak ever. 4-0 in closeout games. They're the first team to win 3 closeout games by 30-plus points. Largest lead in the playoff game is 61 points. Largest at halftime, 47 points. Largest lead through 3 quarters is 53. And the 4 final heroic and key achievements. 3 of the top 5 finals comebacks ever. Largest halftime deficit overcome in the finals ever. First and third player plus minus rating ever. And on top of that, they said that let me see if I can find it, because they were talking about the Knicks had the most watched. Let me see if I can find it.
NBA Finals.
So yeah, the top selling overall sports champion by Fanatics, and yeah, here it is by Adam Schefter. The most watched NBA Finals since 1988, largest 5-game audience since 88, 24.5 million people average, peaking at 33 million. That's 150% year over year.
Yeah, man. I mean, because the haters is going to be watching. The haters is lurking and watching. So everybody want to see. They talk all that stuff. They all want to see what the Knicks. They want to see if the Knicks going to lose. They want to see what the Knicks going to do. Because like I said, we are on box office, man. We box office.
Well, here's the other thing. You know what this also tells me? People tune in to watch the Knicks. Period. You can say what you want, and that's, like you said, that's the haters and that's the supporters. And this Knicks program, because people have talked about it, they like the players, they like the team as a whole. Yeah, I get it. You don't like the fan base. Okay, whatever. You don't like us as fans, cool. I get it. It's not a problem. But when the Knicks are on, it's good for ratings. And the NBA sees that. They know that. They see that. And look, the numbers, as they say, numbers don't lie. I mean, people tuned in. That's not just us talking. That's not us talking hyperbole or anything. That's facts.
Yeah,
You know, and go ahead, Lee. I'm sorry. I'm Kay.
yeah, and you gotta say, as far as when it comes to the fan base, yo, this NBA playoff run, championship run, just showed that the Knicks have the #1 fan base in all of sports. No other fan base can compare to us, man. No other fan base can do what we do. We take over arenas. I mean, we got stadiums scared to sell tickets to Knicks fans. Knicks fans travel. We travel all over the place. Nobody else do what we do. You know what I'm saying? Knicks fans are taking over, saying they rowdy, this and that. And guess what? In the NBA, excuse me, in the playoffs, yo, the Knicks had a home court advantage in every playoff series this series. Atlanta, there was a Knicks home crowd. What's that? Philadelphia, we all know that. Cleveland, we know that. And San Antonio, which people were surprised, we took over that too. Knicks fan base took over. And like I said, when you have the fan base that does that, it puts the home team in an uncomfortable position. That's what they was feeling like. They're like, you know, they at home and they getting booed and all that stuff. So these guys are just like, yo, what's going on? They're like, they really can't, you know, they kind of confused. And that's what we do, man. It's like, hey, we take over arenas and stuff like that. And guess what? It makes the Knicks feel right at home. And that's what they're going to do. They're going to go over there and take over your home arena. And to everybody who say it ain't going to happen to my arena, guess what? Coming soon at an arena near you. The Knicks fan takeover is coming. We take over any arena in the NBA. It's not off limits. And then, like I said, you already know we coming. Next year is going to be, if you think it was bad this year, wait until next season. After Knicks don't win the championship, wait until next season, man. When he said them New Yorkers going to be popping their collars all over in every arena and stuff like that. And like I said, the one arena people are talking about is Boston. Yeah, it's coming too. Boston is coming because, like I said, we're ready, bro.
The only one, I'll be honest, I wonder is LA with the Lakers because they do sell out. They do, but I do wonder, you know, with the Lakers if they're not winning, you know, if they sell their tickets. Because that's the other thing. It goes with fans selling off their tickets. So yeah, I'm with you. Knicks fans will gobble those tickets up real quickly. Oh, I can fly to LA, watch the Knicks and the Lakers, and you know, have a little mini vacay in LA. Yeah, you know, but you know, if LA is winning, you know, then it's a different. They'll keep their tickets because you know what, they got all those, you know, Hollywood glitz and glamour. They're throughout the. They're like the Knicks. They're like the Knicks. Hollywood, you know.
Yeah, but their team ain't as strong this year. I guess.
No, and that's why I said if they're not winning, and especially if LeBron James leaves. I mean, you got Luka. But if LeBron James leaves, it's going to be interesting. So I'm with you, bro. I'm with you.
I'm gonna say this: with the Knicks winning this championship, I don't even care about LA or Boston. Is going to be the takeover. It's coming for those two. They're going to try to make them. They're going to try to prove a point. If the Knicks are good, they're going to try to prove a point. The Knicks fans don't care. They don't care. They already talking smack already. Like I said, Boston and LA, you guys are next up because, like I said, we haven't really got this because the Knicks have been bad, but now the Knicks are up. They coming, bro. And we ain't even worried about it.
Quick update, 2:45. Indiana's up 104-82.
Wow.
So in the fourth quarter. So they're putting it on. So, but getting back to this now, talk about the impact of Jalen Brunson throughout this playoffs.
Man, Jalen Brunson, like I said, man, hey, we saw the things on Twitter, ESPN, like when he first signed him and all that stuff, all the naysayers and stuff like that was all down on Jalen Brunson. It was like, this is the guy you signed? I guess you just guys have money to just give to a guy because you can't get the players that you really want, you know, like KD, LeBron, these other players and stuff like that, man. But, hey, Jalen Brunson has been a godsend for us and all stuff like this. It's like, yo, much props to Jalen Brunson, man. Like I said, he came here when nobody really wanted to come here, took that pressure on his shoulder, and he has more than delivered and stuff like that, man. He has made a huge impact for the Knicks, man. You know, like I said, when he got here, the Knicks, yeah, they had Randall, Barrett and stuff. They was when they went to the playoffs and stuff like that, but he's turned the trajectory of the Knicks around and stuff like that. We're no more laughingstock. And, hey, according to Becky Hammonds, yo, Becky, we do got a 1A guy on our team. You know, you can say what you want to say. We got a 1A guy. He showed you. And guess what? The little guy, and I'm going to say this because, you know, I ain't going to say I'm a little guy and stuff like that. But, hey, I have more respect. I have always had more respect for the little players in any sports and stuff like that because I always feel like the little players, they always, 95% of the time, they're playing against players way bigger than them. and these guys are still performing. They still but the big players, like I said, just like I said with Wemby, I don't really respect this game because, like I said, he's not playing nobody his size. Every game he has an advantage over every single player he plays against in the NBA. How does that? It's like how's that? It's like we're praising a guy because he's 7'5" is like, if you take away his height, what else does he got? You know what I'm saying? What else does he got? And it's like, and he's 7'5". There's not too many 7'5" players walking around, so he's gonna have the advantage over everybody. So you really can't see. That's why I really wish he was in like the era with the centers and stuff like that, so they could dominate and see if he could really dominate these guys and stuff like that. And today's NBA is not like that. It's not too many center positions, not really which goes to stretch fives and stuff like that. So, but with Jalen Brunson, like I said, man, huge impact. And hey, you got to respect the guy. I mean, if you I don't even care, you hate the guy, you don't like. You got to respect the guy who leaves $113 million on the table to get this team. No other superstar will do that. Leave $113 million on the table. I don't know any superstar that have ever done that. That leave $113 million so that we can get more people to come and help him win a championship. And like I said, now he's eligible for a 300 some million. Give him to contract. He deserves it. I mean, I ain't even got no gripe over it. I won't even bat an eye. Just sign over the check. You know what I'm saying? That dude has delivered us a championship 53 years in the making. And how much money did we win? How much money did we make in this playoff run? Well over what? $500 million, $600 million in this playoff run. If the Knicks have been having playoff runs like this for the last 10, 15 years, we'll be the most valued franchise in any sport. More value than the Cowboys, the Yankees, the Patriots, anybody. This one run right here is like, it just shows you how much money the Knicks can make if they were going to be perennial contenders year in and year out and stuff like that. But Jalen Brunson, like I said, he has way more. He has outplayed his contract. He has way, earned the value of the Knicks way more than he got paid. I mean, he's getting paid peanuts and stuff like that. If you really want to be keep it 100, But like I said, gotta respect the guy who leaves $113 million on the table. That's unheard of in any professional sports and stuff like that. So you can already tell. You can tell the character of the guy and stuff like that. And guess what? And all he has ever done is prove doubters wrong. He's proven everybody wrong, and he's going to keep continuing to prove people wrong because guess what? Everybody going to keep on hating. They're going to keep on saying, yeah, but it's always a but, you know what I'm saying? But guess what? It's always a but until you got to face Jalen Brunson on the court. Then what? Then he turns out to be the best player on the court, even though your favorite guy, everybody got their favorite guy until he faces Jalen Brunson and it's like, oh, what happened? You know what I'm saying?
Jalen Brunson has done something in terms of basketball, but sports in general. He's put a big emphasis on fundamentals, understanding the fundamental aspects of the game. A lot of guys rely on talent, and don't get me wrong, talent is important in the game of in all sports. So I don't want to I'm not trying to discredit that, but he's shown you, he may not be as tall as a lot of the guys out there, but he's very fundamentally sound, number one. Number two, he understands angles. He understands how to attack you, in a certain angle, which is to his benefit. So, and it doesn't matter whether it's Wemby at 7'5", the tallest guy in the league, or another guard who's the same height as him and probably quicker than him. But he knows how to attack you. He knows how to put you at a disadvantage, and psychologically, it wears on you as the opposition because Jalen Brunson is mentally strong. He's probably the strongest mentally in the league. So. And I'm a big proponent of the mental aspect of the game, studying the game mentally and seeing how you can attack the opposition. What are their strengths? What are their weaknesses? And how you can use that to your advantage. So he does a great job at that. So, and I forgot who was talking about it, but they said a lot of kids now, they're going to relate because when Steph Curry came out, a lot of kids related. Why? Because they said, I'm not big and I can shoot the basketball. But what is Jalen Brunson going to do? He's going to teach you about taking angles, your footwork, dribbling the basketball, how to use the dribble to set up your opposition. Yes, he leans into him, he bumps people, but he doesn't always extend his arm. He uses his body. Why do you think Kirk calls him Big Body Brunson? It's not only because of his play, but he knows how to use his body and bump a defender off just to get that space, because that's all you need. Once you have that space, I don't care how tall you are, you can get the ball up over them. So, but again, he's done a great job in attacking the defenders because he's fundamentally sound. So,
Right.
now,
Another point I was making is like, they always talk about with Brunson is like, like when you go up against Maxey, Maxey's gonna do this, and it's like, so why Maxey don't guard him on the other end? They always put a bigger guard on. It's like I always find that so they like everybody want to guard Brunson, but then on the other end is like they want Brunson to guard them, but on the other end they want to throw like a 6'7" dude on him, or 6'8" dude on him, and stuff like that, because they don't. Guys who is this size is like them guys that they gonna get eaten up.
Exactly. So, because and you said it best. Yeah, they're going to get eaten up and it's going to wear them down, and then it's going to take away from their ability to be productive offensively. So, because they're going to be so worn down and stressed out. So, here we go with 35 seconds. Indiana's up 111-91. So, yeah, they've won this game. They've blown it out. So, that's a foul. But 28 seconds left. So Indiana's going to walk away. So what's next for New York, and for them as a franchise, starting with this off season? What do you think is most important for the off season for New York?
I think most important, like I said, man, for us, man, is like Mitchell Robinson, trying to see what they're gonna do with Mitchell Robinson, and probably on the reserve like Shamet. I don't know if McBride is up or something like that, but we have to see.
McBride is in his. I think he's in his last year.
Oh, you got one more. Yeah, something like that.
Hold on. Go ahead. Let me find out.
And as far as Mitchell's like the number one. Is like, yo, we got to bring this guy back. I know some people are like, oh, we can do it. It's like, bro, at the end of the day, you don't understand the rebounding, the impact this dude makes on the defensive end with the rebounding and shot blocking. You don't find that too often, man. Stuff like that. So, but my first priority is Mitchell Robinson. But the core guys are under contract. The core guys are under contract and stuff like that. So, I'm not. So, like I said, Mitchell Robinson is the guy. Like I said, that I'm most worried about. See what they're gonna do with him, because I think I was hearing something like they're gonna either sign him and Shamet to a 2-year, something like that, 2-year deals and stuff like that. So. And I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, Mitchell Robinson is he is a free agent. So
but his market value, I think, is $20 million, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and Deuce got I'm looking at who's hype salary. Right? Deuce got one more year.
Yeah, he has 1 year. He's going to be around a little under $4 million.
So he's signed for next season. He signed for next season.
So I forgot to check for Jose Alvarado.
Jose has he has a player option. So
he'll opt in. Okay, he'll opt in.
Yeah, it's a $4.5 million player option. So so he'll get that. You know what I'm saying?
So Jordan Clarkson, I think, is gone. Yeah. Showdown, I think, will probably be gone.
Him is a guy they talking about bringing back or something like that. Who? Landry Shamet.
Yeah, I figured it's going to be Shamet, because if you let Shamet go, then you got to bring Clarkson back.
What's name is these guys? Say Ariel Hukporti and Diawara. They're done too. So they gotta think about bringing.
Diawara is a free agent.
Yeah, because he's a second round pick, just like Hukporti. They were second round picks.
So he only had a 1-year contract.
That's what they gave him and stuff like that. They didn't give him like a 3 or 4 year deal or something. They only gave him like a 1 or 2 year. So that's another thing is Diawara. Diawara is a big.
Let Diawara go. You got to sign him and lock him up.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So yeah, he's you got to look at it. Diawara's contract is up, and 42. So their contract is like $1 million or something like that. So hey, we got to get these guys back and stuff like that, man, because it's on the cheap. They on the cheap. Jeremy Sohan, he's free agent too. So
yeah, Sohan. So. Priority then, that changes everything in my mindset. To be honest with you, I think you got to get Diawara before. Well, no, you need Mitchell because you need a big.
Yeah, but I mean Diawara, you can sign him because his contract be like another $1 or $2 million, $3 million, something like that. But Mitchell Robinson's the bigger one.
To be honest with you, Diawara is the type of player because I want to see him develop because he has the skills, he has the ability. He reminds me of a young Pascal Siakam in Toronto. So, he has that type of athleticism. So you want to continue to develop him because eventually, the Josh Hart, even OG, they're going to come to a point in time where, within the next 3 years, you want to have a young guy like that so that you can put into the system, that Mike Brown is working with. So,
but you look at it, but they're both restricted though. Eric Haporti and Mohamed Diarra, they're restricted. So the Knicks can match or something like that. You know what I'm saying? They're restricted. But the other ones are unrestricted, which is Mitchell Robinson, Clarkson, Shaman, and Sohan. They unrestricted.
Yeah, Knicks cast, what's up? If you want to join, let me know. We can send you the link and you can come up and talk, Knicks talk right now. So it's an open floor to everyone.
The link is right there in the chat.
I don't know. Does he see it? Because he came on later, so I don't know if he saw it or what.
Okay, Luca, what's good, bro? So Louis, Luca was in. He was at the Knicks game. So yeah, I think he just finished. He just finished the stream and stuff like that. So
yeah.
But yeah, man, we're talking about this Knicks stuff, man. I mean, Knicks fans right now are just so excited, man. Like I said, first time in 53 years, man. We can finally say it's like, yo, we got the monkey off our backs and stuff like that. Well-deserved championship and stuff like that. And man, that parade is gonna be something special to behold, man.
Put it back in the chat. So
it's gonna be all good, man. It's all good. But like I said, this run right here, like I said, started here in Atlanta, man. I mean, Knicks was down 2-1, and the light bulb went off. They had a meeting. Somebody was like, "Yo, ever since Atlanta, the Knicks have been on a BTA, a tour. You know what I'm saying? Tour. I mean, the Sixers. I mean, they thrashed the Sixers, then the Cavs. They just destroyed the Cavs and stuff like that, man. And then, like I said, San Antonio. Look at San Antonio. I mean, 5 games with San Antonio. Atlanta took us the longest with 6 games. Atlanta, we went 6 with Atlanta, which I didn't even see that coming. But it is what it is. And like I said, but they had to get their stuff right and stuff like that. So it's all good, man. But what's next for these guys? Like I said, man, try to maintain some of these guys, man. Like keep some of these guys. But we got a good staff, you know what I'm saying, as far as like the salary cap guys and stuff like that. So they'll figure a way out and stuff like that. They always figuring a way. Leon Rose and I'm always figuring a way out, man. They figuring something out.
Well, I know they're any moves they make is going to push them over the second apron. So it's going to restrict them to a certain extent. But like you said, Dolan don't care because he's making that money. He's really making that money. No matter what. So what's up, Alexandra? Thanks for tapping in. Alexander, appreciate you, for tapping in. So, but yeah, I mean, so he'll go ahead and deal with it. But,
right.
I also look at it as the league's salary cap is going to increase.
Yeah.
So, so it's going to open up a lot more. What's up, my brother? How are you? Long time.
Long time no talk. Coach Ed, Man Cave, obviously we saw each other for Game 4.
Yeah.
I must say, I said this to my brother. I said this in a joking fashion. I said to him, me and Man Cave and his crew were the catalyst for this Knicks run.
Yeah,
from we were down 2-1, rattled off 13 straight consecutive victories after Game 4. I mean, this is insane. I don't know if you guys have processed it. I've sort of processed it, but not. It just feels like we're all on cloud 9 right now. No one thought we were going to be here. We were finals contenders throughout the year, but we didn't actually think we would do it. 53 years of pain. You guys have watched more Knicks ball than I have. You guys have suffered more than what I have. But at the end of the day, Joe Beningo was talking about this on The Fan. He's like, all the ghosts of the past are gone. You don't have to worry about the Patrick Ewing finger roll. You don't have to worry about the Isaiah Thomas and Phil Jackson eras. You don't got to worry about Pat Riley leaving. You don't have to think about Melo being blocked at the rim by Hibbert. You don't even have to think about last year when Tyrese Halliburton pulled off the amazing comeback.
Starks 2 for 18, right? Starks 2 for 18.
Starks 2 for 18. It's just like it's all gone. It's like all wiped away. But the city Saturday night was absolutely amazing. I've never seen. And I said this in my video yesterday. I said, I've never seen a city unite around one team like they have, as they did around the Knicks. And, I talked about this in my video. I said, The Yankees have the Mets. The Giants have the Jets. The Islanders have the Rangers and Devils. Obviously, the Liberty, they won the championship recently. So did NYCFC, but like, it just felt like a long time coming. I know you guys are going to specifics about free agency and all, but like, I can't speak enough about that experience being in New York City when the Knicks won. You had confetti coming down in Times Square. You had banners being hung up, walking through the streets. It was people dancing and sitting on city buses. You have climbing poles and all that. And it was so unbelievable, man. By the way, I got to mention this. I have to mention this. We were walking down. I don't know what street it was. Hand to God, walking down the street. And we crossed the street. Everybody starts cheering. To my left comes Larry effing Johnson from Radio City Music Hall. Larry Johnson came out of nowhere. He was completely unguarded, and I dabbed him up. My friend dabbed him up. Everybody was around him. It was insane. I was like, who's this dude with white hair? I'm like, oh, my God, that's Larry Johnson.
Oh, man.
That's beautiful, man. That's beautiful. So, yeah, you're right, man. I mean, the pictures, the images that I saw, everyone is in the streets. And you know what? You could tell people didn't care, because like you said, it unified the city for the most part. Everyone across the country were, they've been happy for this Knicks team because, they like the players, and they're like, they deserve it. And when have you ever heard that as a Knicks fan, that everyone seems to like the Knicks players, so, and they go out and, look, they don't act in a derogatory manner. They act like grown folks. Dig. And they play like the underdogs. Even if they are favored, they play with a chip on their shoulder like an underdog. And I was talking about it on another podcast earlier today. And already they're talking about the Knicks are fourth in terms of favorite to win the championship next year. So I was like, and he said, yeah, the Knicks play better when there's a chip on their shoulder. So I was like, yeah, okay. Yeah. You want to continue to doubt us? Okay, no problem. Because you got Captain Clutch, and he's the biggest one that everyone seems to doubt. Well, guess what? He's going to come back next year. Okay. Next up is being in the MVP race, if not trying to win it outright. So, so I'm ecstatic. I loved everything that I've been seeing, across the board. Talking to my man Steve. He's in my apartment complex. He's in his early 80s. He's been following the Knicks since 1952. So he's seen literally everything. He's seen everything. And matter of fact, here, let me pull up one of his texts that he sent me, and because he was alluding to the fact, Mitch, is that really you? Just let me. You can go back to blocking you. I just want to see if it's you, because I can't bring you on if I don't know if it's you.
Man, I'm gonna say this, man. Yo, those 9 wins. Do you on 9 wins on the road? Do you know they beat San Antonio in all 3 games in San Antonio? San Antonio didn't win a home game in the series. That's crazy. Knicks won all 2 in San Antonio, man.
It's so insane to think about. I mean, as Coach was saying, they were playing so humble, but like the one thing that
I got you.
The one thing that the Spurs were saying, throughout the series, they were like, Wemby was like, oh, we just have to play normal. Oh, the Knicks aren't doing anything special. Stephon Castle, oh, we're going to win the next 3. Wemby was like, oh, well, everybody knows we're going to come back down 3-1. It just didn't seem like the Spurs were too humble. I think that was the problem. But the Knicks were like, okay, you heard Mikal Bridges after game 2. He was like, okay, we won, but the score's still 0-0. Like I'll tell you what, before Mitch speaks, every single player on this team had some sort of doubt about them. Even the coach, Mike Brown, retread. Karl Anthony Towns, soft, couldn't play defense. OG Anunoby, overpaid role player. Mikal Bridges, 6 first-round picks for an overpaid role player. Josh Hart, can't shoot. Jalen Brunson, too small, can't play defense, not a 1A option. You can't win with him. Deuce McBride, too small to be a role player. Landry Shamet, not consistent. Mitchell Robinson, too hurt. Like every single major, and I'll say this for the record as well. You can include Alvarado, you can include Clarkson.
Mm-hmm.
As much as Jalen Brunson's the MVP of this team, each and every role player that played in this rotation, we would not be here without. Jose Alvarado's 8 points in Game 4. Jordan Clarkson completely revamping his play style and turning into a hustle player. Josh Hart doing Josh Hart things. Brunson being Captain Clutch. Karl Anthony Towns being the main hub of the offense and absolutely obliterating his competition. You have Mikal Bridges had a phenomenal postseason run after his struggles in Game 3 of that Hawks series. I mean, you could just go up and down the list. I mean, it's an unbelievable. And if you guys didn't see this, I want you guys to right now go on Google, look up Jalen Brunson. It will say suggested. Captain, did you mean Captain Clutch Brunson?
Mm-hmm.
It's an actual function on
I
Google.
saw that.
Wow.
My friend
All
took
right,
a
Mitch.
screenshot of that and sent it to me. I'm like, do I really need that right now?
Mitch, what's good, Mitch?
What's good, man? I haven't seen you guys in a while. How you been?
It's been
No,
good,
pleasure
man.
seeing you.
We're happy, man. Good. We're happy, man. We're happy.
I'm happy for you guys. That's the thing. Coach, do you remember when Mikal Bridges was on the Brooklyn Nets? And I was like, Coach, watch. You guys are going to trade for Mikal Bridges.
Yeah, you did say that. You did say that. And I was just like, nah, the Nets are not going to trade him to the Knicks. And lo and behold, it was just like,
You know why? Leon. Because Leon Rose is close with Brunson. He's closer with everyone. So I just knew that it was going to happen. And I was shooting hoops in my gym today. And on our court, it says Rose Family Court. Because he's from our area. And he's sponsored there. It's like, oh, and I'm like, oh, I got to shoot this every time now. I got to see this every time. Crazy.
So here's my message that I was talking about earlier. He said, the most amazing, important individual performance in Knicks history. Been watching them since 1952. Leon Rose put this team together with only Mitch as a draft choice who contributed. Think about that. I mean, that says a lot. That says a lot. Like you said, Luca, retreads across the board. From the head coach all the way down. Got to give Dolan credit because I've always been hard on him. Giving Leon Rose the keys to the court and backing away and letting him do it. First of all, hiring an agent with no experience at doing this job, and then letting him run this program. And the other thing, look, we've killed him. Many in the media has killed Leon Rose because he doesn't come out and speak. He speaks one time a year, but he doesn't want to cause distractions. And guess what that does? It's shown you it's effective because they don't have to worry about what the GM says and then answer those questions throughout the course of the season, except for one time in the beginning in the preseason when, they all say the same thing, but during the regular season, everybody, he needs to come out and speak. No, he doesn't. And he has a championship ring behind it to sit here and say, I don't need to come out and speak. I need to speak to my team. That's what I need to speak to, and I need to speak. He'll speak to his sponsors and all of that behind the scenes, but doesn't need to come out because he doesn't want to be a distraction. And I agree with it now. I agree with him. I'm not buying into the narrative that, the GM needs to come out and speak every time, especially, when things are going wrong, because everybody in the media wants to dig at the negative as opposed to, just let everybody play his course, because that's what this team did. And through the course, they've gone through the ups and downs, through the adversity to get to this point, because they wouldn't have gotten to this point without last year with Indiana, and the year before that. It's always progressing. It's always improving. So, and you reach the pinnacle. So there you go. So what's up, Tyrone? Thanks for tapping in, brother.
Tyrone,
did you guys get a chance to watch James Dolan's speech to the team prior to the playoffs? 15 minutes. Check it out on a Roommate Show. Exclusive speech from James Dolan speaking to the entire team about sacrifice and what these next 10 weeks mean. I know, we're not the biggest fans of Dolan, but it sounded like it actually came from the heart. I mean that entirely. He's as much as he's made a bunch of screw ups in the past, he's very much responsible. He's a fan. He's a fan at the end of the day. He's not like just a businessman or whatever you want to say, that dude actually cares. That dude actually wants to win. He has done for his reputation, besides other things, it's been almost a complete turnaround. And that's what happens when you hire the right people, when you stay out of the basketball operations, and when just success happens. That's what happens. But I suggest if you're a Knicks fan, even if you're not a Knicks fan, go check it out on the Roommate Show YouTube channel. That whole 15-minute speech. That was like, wow.
There's one more thing that he's got to do, though. Oakley. He's got to bring Oakley back.
Let him Oakley's going to apologize to Ewing first.
True.
Yeah, true. Good point.
I want to say this as far as with the Leon Rose, I think the Knicks finally got it right because we've been hiring traditional GMs, but when we hire an agent, we followed the Lakers' path. That's how Rob Pelinka and them guys were starting getting players and stuff like that. So Leon Rose is an agent that's knows the ins and outs with the players and stuff like that, and worked out fine for us, man. So maybe that might be another trend going on, with other teams and stuff like that. Hiring new GMs and stuff like that, so they can get a pulse of what's going on.
Yeah, I remember the exact day it happened because I went to school with his daughter. They lived right around my neighborhood, so as soon as I saw that, I'm like, what? I did not expect this at all. And I'm like, Jersey's getting a ring in 10 years.
Right.
I was off by 4. But, yeah, I was like, what the hell? And his son is an agent, too. His son is just continuing that as well. So it's just, amazing.
Because he played college ball at Michigan, right? Yeah, he played on Michigan basketball team. Rob Pelinka. Yeah, he was on that Michigan basketball team, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm also so glad that we don't have to be entrenched in the LeBron, Giannis rumors.
Right.
Oh, God.
Yes.
Well, Giannis is he's going to be heading to Boston soon, probably. It's probably going to be Boston because that trade's going to be made within another couple of days because they want it before the draft because they want them draft capital. So it's be Boston. I think it's Boston, Miami or Boston. I don't see Golden State,
Look,
but
I said to be honest with you, and I know most people don't want to accept it, but the one place that to me makes sense is OKC because you can trade him for Chet and some other players, and they have the draft capital, and that puts them in playoff contention. He gives what Chet is supposed to be. The only thing Chet has over him, I think, is the 3-point shooting. But everything, physicality, toughness, rim protection, versatility. He gives you more. He can even slash down the lane. So, but I get it. Plus he wants to be in the East. But if I was him, the first place I would say, if I want to win a championship or at least be up there, I want to see about OKC. And you don't think Milwaukee would call them and say, give me Chet. You have back end players as well as some draft picks.
Another team too, Spurs.
Yeah.
That's another one as well. Can you imagine Giannis and Wemby?
I said it the day earlier on Cloud 9 podcast. I said Wemby needs a goon. He needs what Patrick Ewing had with Charles Oakley. Yeah, that's really what he needs. He doesn't need to be the tough guy. Let someone else be that, and you just go out and play your game. So,
why don't he get Draymond then? No, let me stop.
Yeah. I would love stuff like that because it to me it raises the level of competition. It raises the intrigue. Fans are going to want to see it. Look, we just talked about the numbers. People turned in to see the Knicks, no matter what, whether you hate them or not. And I never really accepted the argument that, when the Knicks are winning, the NBA is financially and overall being successful because people really tune in. People want to tune in to hate on New York or they want to root for New York. And the numbers spoke to it already. An average of 24.5 million, peaking at 33. Come on, man. Come on, that's
insane.
What was
2016? What was that? Game 6 or something? That was the same number, and I'm like, damn.
Here, I had it up. What were you saying, Luca?
1998.
I was saying the best finals numbers since Michael Jordan's last finals in '98. And also as well, I mean, there were discussions of this. Milwaukee talking to Minnesota about possibly trading Giannis there, but I don't think Minnesota has the capital or the players.
Yeah,
with the
I don't
players
think they have
want
the
to trade.
Rudy
No, they
Gobert.
don't.
That's why.
Rudy.
Yeah, here it is. Adam Schefter posted it earlier. Like you said, Lucas, since '98, that's 157% year over year.
That's insane.
So, and that was Saturday, I think. Yeah, Saturday. That was on Saturday. So, that's crazy. To me, that's it. What is the Super Bowl average? Does the Super Bowl averages?
I'm pretty sure it averages like that because everybody's watching Super. They tune into one game on that day.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think. So, but yeah, it's this whole turnout has been crazy, man. I've just loved every aspect of it. Where was it? There was the other one. Yeah, Fanatics top selling overall sports champion ever. That's crazy right there. In terms of Fanatics.
They say their Super Bowl average is between 120 and 127 million U.S. viewers.
Oh, okay.
This is the only game on.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true. So, but yeah, the merchant, and I do want to get that jersey. I've been looking. They just don't have my damn size. I'm like, y'all don't make it for us sexy fatty?
We're going to get it. We're going to get those, man.
Yeah, I want that T-shirt, man.
Let me ask you guys this. We're going to talk about this on the Pick and Roll tomorrow, Coach.
Mm-hmm.
Brunson, where does he rank now? Because telling you he's up there now. I've seen 6.
Nah, he's out. He's higher than Mount Rushmore. He's on the Mount. Man, he's on
Are you talking about with the Knicks or in the league?
No, I'm talking about the NBA right now.
Oh, the NBA. Oh, okay.
I've seen him 6, 5, 6. Fine, I'll do it 6, 7. Damn.
I think it should be around 6 or 5 because of course you're gonna have SGA, Giannis, Joker, and who's the other one?
Luka Doncic.
Luka.
Luka's all right, but Luka, like I said, he got to get me to a championship or finals or something. Luka hasn't done it.
Wemby's still up there for me. No matter how bad it looked, he's still up there for me.
Look, I said it before. Wemby is not the best player on the Spurs. I'm sorry.
Wemby's
I'm being a homer. Dylan Harper is the best Spur right now. Sorry, he is.
He's a homer. I'm not being a homer.
No. I'm not being a homer. I'm being straight up. So, but no, I get what you're saying, Mitch. As far as Wemby, it's what's turning T-shirts only went up. Yeah, it only went up to 6. You got the same problem, bro. I'm with you, man. Because I need me a nice 4 or a 5X, man. Because I like it loose. I don't like it. 2X is not. That's like me on one of my arms, man. Come on, man.
I think with Wemby just got to do a lot more, man. He's just got exposed in this final. I know he's still young. He got to get in the weight room. I don't know what is the thing with these guys. They don't want to get in the weight room. They got to get stronger, man. Him and Chet Holmgren, them guys are weak.
Wemby never wins the big one. He never did. In France, he never won the big one. The Olympics, he lost to Chet. And then now this.
The under 19
and the big one.
Well, he's gonna have to. He's gonna have to. Just like they gotta.
I know.
And he doesn't have a go-to move either. He doesn't have a go-to move.
I said if he had a sky hook, that would be or some type of a jump hook, unstoppable, because he's going to be shooting it down. So that takes away the block effort.
Let me ask you, because I got to talk to Coach. Other than his height, you take his height away from Wemby. What does he have? What makes him so special? Because I don't see nothing special.
A wingspan?
No, I'm talking about take the height away.
The wingspan is not high, but
it's going to come down. So it's going to be, just like every other good tall. It's not going to be elite.
His athleticism, I guess.
No, he still has athleticism. He still has decent shooting. He has good handle, but he would have to, like you guys have been saying, he has to create a move because he doesn't have it. Go ahead, Luca.
I'm gonna say this. Go ahead, Luca.
I was gonna say the problem is, I was watching this the video from Andy Hoops. People of his stature faded out of the NBA real quick. Not saying Wemby's gonna do that, but like Manute Bol was 7 foot. Bol was 7 foot. What's his name? Samson was good. Unfortunately, he got hurt. I mean, Porzingis was the unicorn. Unfortunately, he's no longer all-star caliber, but Wemby needs to find – I'm probably thinking missing another 7-footer or two. What was it? The Chinese
Sean
prospect?
Bradley.
Yao
It's not Yao
Yao
Ming.
Ming?
Not Yao Ming. Zhai Lan, I think his name was. The Boston-
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
Yep. Yee. Yep.
Sean Bradley as well, but yeah, he's not saying that Wemby isn't skilled or whatever. I mean, he's obviously when he was drafted, he was supposed to be one of the greatest players of all time. But like, the importance of the go-to move is so crucial because at the end of the day, you don't want to end up like those guys. I mean, Sampson's I think Ralph Sampson's a Hall of Famer, but his career was cut off by injuries. But
Yeah,
Wemby,
he was cut off.
You don't want. Yeah, you don't want. At the end of the day, you don't want to be in this. You want to be away from the guys like the Sam Bowies and the Ralphs and like those guys to become one of the all-time greats. He needs a go-to move. He needs a go-to move.
I'm gonna just say this about Wemby. It's good he came at this time because if he had came in the 80s or 90s, you know what would have happened to him? He would have been a stash pick because he wasn't strong enough to play in the NBA.
He's Sean Bradley.
No, I'm not. NBA, but in today's NBA, he is able to do that because they're not really is a finesse league. So I mean,
no, what I'm saying back then, Sean Bradley is what I'm saying. He's Sean Bradley,
right?
Because remember, Sean Bradley's same build, same. Yes, in the '90s, but Sean Bradley, his thing was people could muscle him and move him out. Because I'm with you. That's who he is,
right? And I'll tell you another thing. I'll tell you is like in today's NBA, he has the mismatch on everybody he's played every single night because there's no more big centers like back in the day. If he came with Ewing or Olajuwon, those guys will destroy him. But there's nobody in today's NBA, so you really can't get a gauge of how good he can be because he has no peers. He's taller than everybody.
Yeah. Well, two things. The first thing he needs is someone who can lead, like a CP3. Can you imagine if CP3 was still here? San Antonio, if he was still here, we might have a different conversation right now. So that's one. And I forget the second thing, but I don't know.
Yeah, but if they had CP3, do they get Dylan Harper?
That's a great question. Harper was cooking us all. I have a lot of respect for Dylan Harper.
I think they still pick him. They still pick Dylan Harper though, because I mean they still pick Harper. It depends on their record and what they get, but they still pick Harper though.
Yeah, but was San Antonio? Oh yeah, he was with San Antonio before.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they traded for Fox. That's why they let CP3 go, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, but again, it's interesting. Going forward, next year, it's going to be very intriguing. I do want to see, like Cave said, which I didn't know about Diawara. I thought he was under contract. To me, it's him and Mitch. I mean, I get Shamet. I need Diawara back.
Oh yeah.
You gotta get him because he's someone that you can develop, and if you develop him right, I'm like this. You can move Josh Hart to the bench, and you can put him in there in the starting lineup because that gives even more defensive versatility, length. Because Josh Hart is 6'4", but he's 6'10", 6'11".
Yeah, 6'10", 6'9", 6'10", somewhere.
So it's like, to me, he's past Dadier. So that's why I'm like, what, Dadier, Jemison. If you want to say he's even past Kahleah to a certain extent, Kahleah is still a point guard. So that's why, to me, he's still important. Even though Alvarado is going to probably pick up his player option, you still have Kahleah, young, and he played left-handed like Brunson, former Big East player, same size, kind of plays the same way. Brunson is a little bit more effective in his three-pointer and pull-up game, but the point I'm making is you have young players that you can develop and allow them to still contribute and play with the core. And Diawara is that one of those guys. You mentioned how Porty is a free agent. So it's like, all right, well, if Mitch goes, then you got to bring him back. But on the flip side, you still got the 3 draft picks. I think it's 27, 31, and somewhere later in the
24, 31,
31,
else.
55.
Yeah, 55. So
you guys watch more college ball than I do. I hate to interrupt, but what do you think of Zuby from St. John's?
I love him.
I like him. That's exactly who.
The only. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Kate.
Good defensive. He's a strong player. He's about 6'7", 6'9", somewhere
Yeah,
around.
that's where I was going. He's 6'7".
Yeah.
So yeah, he's 6'7". You know, first of all, he played at St. John's, so you know he can handle the city. He's not afraid of it. You know, he has a good game. You know, he's a good rebounder. He's tough. So you know, I know they talked about him at 31. So, and I know they talked about another center at 24, possibly. So it's like, that's why I'm saying, you know, if you lose Mitchell, you know, I mean, that frees up money, but you know, it's like, okay, does that also mean you still have to bring back Hokporty, or are you going to go completely with a young guy to be behind Karl-Anthony Towns? So, because that's the biggest concern. That's my biggest concern. I'd rather at least Hokporty did show me something. Mitchell, great offensive rebounder, you know, can block the shots, can move. He can give you the alley oops, you know. So you know that's good there. But his free throw and lack of a true offensive game concerns me, you know. So Hokporty, at least you can't worry about, you don't worry about him, you know, teams doing a hack-a-mitch type of deal with him. You know, he might not be as athletic, but he can still give you a level of physicality, and he played fine. He wasn't afraid when he went in there in the finals. So
yeah, but see, the thing with him is when he play against like Embiid, he's gonna get overpowered.
I know.
He's gonna get overpowered, and that's part of the problem.
That's just one player. That's why I'm looking at it, you know. But that goes back to, you know, what do you do with Mitch? You know, are you I think they're prioritizing Mitch, but it's like, okay, well, you know, then if Hokporty's going, then that's where you draft the young guy, the young big, also to fill his role.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, these other guys can't do what Mitch do. The offensive rebound, they can't rebound like this dude, man.
Yes.
You know,
how many years has Robinson been with you guys?
8.
8
8
years.
Wow, it doesn't even feel like that.
And you remember when he first came? I mean, Embiid was toying with him like, because he used to be so skinny, but then he woke up. Embiid can't really move him around too much
because he can start for most teams.
Yeah,
he can actually start for most teams. So if I was Mitchell Robinson, I may want to go and get a bag. Honestly, I've been here all my nothing. Got a ring. Maybe I gotta get some money for me and myself. I deserve it.
Oh, go home to New Orleans, right? He said, "Go back home to New Orleans."
Oh, yeah. I mean, go ahead, I'm sorry.
I mean, I think I read like the Lakers might be interested in Mitchell Robinson because who's their center room? DeAndre Ayton and Jackson Hayes. That's a rough center room. You could definitely improve upon that.
It was even talking about the Celtics going after Mitchell Robinson too.
There's center room's ass. I mean, you have Neemias Queta and Nikola Vucevic.
What?
He's a free agent.
Vucevic, yeah.
He might want to go. He's going back home to Philadelphia. He's going with the Sixers.
I'll take any backup center, honestly.
He said he'll take any backup center.
I'll take a backup. Like, honest, I'll take a center. I don't care. I'll take a center.
Hey,
this guy can't stay healthy.
Mitch, are you still trusting the process, man? How people?
Dude, if anyone knows me, I cannot stand this guy anymore. I really can't. Like, I have Sixers writers on my show all the time. And, you know, they're saying like PR stuff. You know, they're like, "Oh, he's good when he's healthy." I'm like, dude,
when is he healthy? When is he ever?
That's exactly what I say. I'm like, when is he healthy?
Because he always hurt in the playoff. The playoff come around.
When he was healthy, he dropped 70 points on Wemby in 3 quarters. That was Wemby's welcome to NBA moment.
And
he made it to the finals before Embiid.
Yeah, man.
Got it.
Now let me ask this: as if you really wanted to sign Mitchell Robinson, really re-sign him, would you consider making a move like trading a Deuce McBride, who's going to be on the last year of his contract next year?
I mean, keep Mitch
sort of money.
I would.
You got Alvarado. You still got Kahleah.
You got
probably going to Clarkson is a free agent as well as Shamet. Yeah. So you probably bring back Shamet. So I mean, I could see it.
Hey, Shamet, the former Sixer.
Yep.
Shamet's been everywhere. So
Hey, Mitch. I mean, I know Mitch just heard that on Jared McCain got traded, man. He's
Here's the funniest thing. I was actually fine for it because he wasn't playing that well for us at that time. At that time, he was just like wasn't getting pushed because we have VJ Edgecombe. VJ Edgecombe, no one thought he was going to be like that. So I'm like, just let it go. We'll see what the draft pick holds. And what do you know? Daryl Morey effed us again.
And then he got canned.
Yeah. Love it. Love it. Mike Gansey, Jameer Nelson. I'm all for it.
You said what? What did Jameer Nelson? Y'all hired Jameer, right?
Yeah, he's our GM. And Mike Gansey is our president of basketball operations.
Jameer's the GM?
Yep.
Wow.
We're finding Ellen Brand another spot in the organization.
He been reassigned?
People forget we still have Ellen Brand. People don't forget.
Yeah, that's right. You do, yes.
Yeah. What about the other guy, Colangelo?
Ryan Colangelo.
Burner account, please. God, I hate my franchise a lot.
Somewhere Sam Hinkie is like, "Hey, can I come back?"
I would take him back. I would. I don't know about anyone else, but I damn would.
All right. Got something I'm going to share with you guys.
Go
I
for it.
was just surprised. Here it is. This is on CBSSports.com. Title is NBA offseason bowl prediction. Stars on the move. So,
Jaylen Brown, yeah.
Right off the bat, Spurs trade De'Aaron Fox.
I'm not
Everyone
surprised.
pretty much. LeBron joins the Warriors.
What?
Wolves add a big name point guard.
De'Aaron Fox.
Jaylen Brown done in Boston, which we thought. Minnesota wins Giannis sweepstakes.
Wow.
Wizards make a surprise number one. Pistons trade for Trey Murphy III.
Hold on, go back to the Wizards. Who they gonna pick number one as a surprise pick?
Okay,
There's so many options.
I was just getting the titles
I
first.
think they might take Boozer.
Favorite to go is
Darren Peterson. No more playing.
It's a top scorer. There's a lot to do, but there's nothing.
I said Darren Peterson.
For what is worth, Darren Peterson's the number one person on my book. Yeah. It looks like they're saying Peterson. You know, he's thinking Peterson is going to be the one. So, yeah, okay. So, but anything else surprise you there? Because what surprised me was this one. I think Mitch, you just said it.
What?
Mitch, you just said it, right? Giannis to Minnesota.
No, that was
actually
Luke.
me.
That was him. I said Giannis.
That was Luka.
Spurs.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, so, it says, let's dive into a different hypothetical Wolves blockbuster. Giannis trade cycles dominated the NBA rumor mill for months. We will finally get some resolution. Okay, if the Bucks are smart, dealing Giannis before the draft might be the right. This year's class is one of the deepest. The Heat Celtics have been viewed as
I think one thing about this is Anthony Edwards going to be able to take the fact that Giannis is going to be the number one. Is Anthony Edwards going to be like, whoa, what the hell? I'm number two now?
Well, guess what? He don't want to be the face of the league. So I don't think he.
Yeah, after what he did in the playoffs, I can totally see that.
He's being more comfortable with another team.
And Giannis is a Hall of Famer. So once you got a Hall of Famer, he's over you now. He's a Hall of Fame player.
Yeah. Yeah. Rudy Gobert and
Giannis, it makes sense. So
that's actually kind of funny.
My question is, why would Jaylen Brown be done in Boston if they're not getting Giannis? Because they just said that if, Giannis will be in Minnesota.
No, maybe it's part of a 3-team Giannis deal. Here they're saying it's hypothetical because that would be the Bucks want. Maybe it's something else, but my gut is telling me Brown is done in Boston. There's just too much smoke with Giannis rumors and Brown ongoing. Winnie homage to Rodney Dangerfield. I get no respect. But he's a great player. Someone will want him. I think the Celtics are ready to give up on him. I think that might be the big point right there. The Celtics are ready to give up on him.
Yeah,
After what happened this offseason and after what happened in the postseason, yeah.
Yeah, but I think like in order for them to get rid of Giannis, has to be in Boston. It's just no way they just get
Yeah,
get rid.
yeah. Well, I mean, if you do a 3-team where picks are included and other players are included, it's a possibility. But yeah, I do think for the most part, I think Giannis would have to. I mean, Brown would have to go to Milwaukee. Why wouldn't Milwaukee want him? And then why wouldn't he want to go there? Because he would have his own team.
Well, they said it was going to be a 3-team trade with Golden State.
Yeah.
Jaylen Brown will go to Golden State, and Giannis will go to Milwaukee, and then they get a treasure trove of draft picks between those teams.
Man, if you put him Brown with and he's from Cal, he played at Cal too, so it's like being home.
Georgia, he played at Cal.
Yeah, so I mean that would be deep. That would be deep. So, but anything else with the Knicks for the franchise going this off season, other than just enjoy the celebration and what are their rings going to look like?
That's the ring.
I must say, tomorrow, hopefully, I'm getting it because Sunday afternoon was my flight. Obviously, we're celebrating Saturday night and all. I was like running around LaGuardia Airport. I'm like, where's the New York Post? Where's the New York Post? Where's the New York Post? I need the back page. So luckily, I was able to order the Post online. And tomorrow, I think the back page of the Post with the Knicks champs thing as the back page is supposed to be coming to my apartment. So I'm going to hang that somewhere.
Okay, man.
I didn't even think about that. I didn't know you could order it. So
you can, you could order it online.
Maybe I might do that.
Or they have it in the stores anymore? They don't have it in the stores no more. They don't sell the pages in the store no more. Right?
Not many papers being sold.
The newspaper stands, they were all out of the Post. They had like other newspapers, but it really didn't matter. But I'm pretty sure like the New York Post, if you look up like New York Post Game 5 champs back page, you could get it online.
Yeah, you have to get those early in the morning. If you're in New York, you got to get it early in the morning because people snatch it up.
Yeah, when is the parade? Like Thursday, Friday?
Thursday, 10 o'clock.
Morning, 10 a.m.
It's going to be the biggest parade ever, man. Biggest parade ever.
And they get 10 million people there. And they get 10 million people there.
I was in New York 2 times. What was it? 2 times last month. And all my dad could say is like, thank God it's not doing when the Knicks are playing. That's it.
So I think I'm going to be in there. I'm going to the parade, man. So I'm going to be there, man. I'm going to be there.
Oh, you're going? Shit.
Yeah, I got to go, man. I got to go.
It's such a I got to be honest, the Canyon of Heroes, if you guys really haven't seen the route, you should. It's somebody suggested this that they should go through all 5 boroughs. That's probably impossible, but it's a bit of a short parade route for how many people are going to be there. Yeah. You're going from the bottom of Manhattan, which is Battery Park, and then you're going up to City Hall, which is still lower Manhattan. Imagine if they made it to Midtown, but obviously that's not a part of the equation.
Yeah, the traffic and everything. Yeah, they don't want to do it because they would totally. It really would shut the city down.
They're gonna be giving the keys to the city, man. They're gonna be giving all the players gonna be giving the keys to the city.
I must ask this question too. This was asked on WFAN. Would you ask? And also, it's actually a 2-parter. Would you ask Tom Thibodeau to come to the parade? Would you give him a ring?
I don't have a problem with it. I don't have.
What about DiVincenzo? I feel so bad for that guy.
Yeah, Devo. Yeah.
I feel so bad.
I guess it's more. Would Tibbs come? Because you can invite him, and would he say no? I didn't win the ring, so no, I don't want the ring. But I mean, that's a great thing to do. I mean, I respect it. So I will say this though, the one I think definitely deserves a ring more than anybody else outside of the organization, Spike Lee. Sorry.
Yeah, all the money spent, Spike Lee.
It's not even. It's just he is the number one fan.
Yeah,
that's what it boils down to. He's the number one fan. So look, you can talk to Mariska, you can talk Fat Joe, and all the rest of them. Yeah, so but it's Spike. So Spike deserves a ring And because he talks about it when he was up in the nosebleed seats as a young kid, and he was there for all the games, back in the 70s, and then he's always been there after he made his money, always buying floor seats, and he's spending money. So yeah, to what you were saying, Kay, that's another added factor. But he's been there, so he deserves it. So well, Luca, Cave, once the ring designs comes out and the secondary market, they're going to make the duplicates and all of that. You guys want to order one?
He said going on like you got on your fingers like I'm gonna order one. It's like
but you order it and you put it in your trophy case or whatever you do. So
yeah, you leave it on display. But
that's
also
the Randy did for the Raptors. He still got one.
That's true.
2019. I'm still mad about that one.
Who does? Oh, Randy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's the 2019 ring.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
I'm so mad at that because of that Kawhi Leonard shot.
I'm also so glad that that Dolan's going to give rings to Ewings, Starks, and Allen Houston as well.
Yeah, really? I didn't even know that.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Okay. That's. Well, what about the rest of them? What about LJ?
I think he will. I think he'll give some other guys.
Well, if you're going to do that to all of them, damn it, you damn sure better give Charles Oakley one then. I'm sorry. If you're going to give the rest of them, Charles Oakley deserves it too. Because what he gave to this organization, in the 90s, they wouldn't even been there. So he deserves one. Look, Mason's family. Then, look, I'm talking with my heart though. I'm talking with my heart. So look, man can do what he wants. Starks is in the organization and whatever role he plays. So rightfully so. But I'm like this. All of them are there. Every last one of them. Look, Steph is always there. Melo is always there. But you can't.
What about Marbury?
Marbury's always there. Yeah, I'm just saying they're all theirs. So it's like do you give them all one? I get it.
I think he will. I think he will because
he got the money. It ain't like he got the money. So but yeah.
Wait, will Leon Rose's family get him too?
On his staff,
his family?
His family, like his wife, daughter, and son.
I don't think your families get the rings. You might pay and make. Yeah.
I was going to say to your point, Coach. I have a little spoiler. James Dolan did say he would give rings to the wives of the players.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was in that whole speech.
Oh, okay. See, I didn't see the speech. Yeah, I didn't see. I just saw the clip.
I gotta check that speech out so I can cry.
Yeah. So, I'm going to watch. The only thing I heard, little clips, and I heard he talked about, no sex for the 10 weeks. It's like, yo, bro. Look, Mr. Dolan, respect you, but if my wife come up and say, my girl come up and say, I'm gonna sit here and tell her no, I gotta save myself for the
right.
You're right. So but what hot-blooded man is gonna turn it down anyway? So look, I've handled business before games.
How's Leaf taking this right now with the Knicks?
He's not taking it well.
You see, he's not here. He got off quickly.
I didn't know. I just
no. He did say he said he's congratulating his father because his father's a Knicks fan.
Okay.
But for the most part, he wasn't congratulating anyone else. Knicks is the biggest Knicks hater I know of anyone. The biggest. He will never give the Knicks any credit for anything. We're the tangerine.
Sixers fans too. They were calling me a fake Philly fan because I like your team.
But hey, Coach, he can't say that no more about us not winning a championship now. So he can't say it's like
Oh yeah. See, remember he did the video where it's the league fixing it so the Knicks can win it.
Oh yeah. I've seen the conspiracy.
Yeah.
I just gotta ask now. Who's gonna be the laughing stock in the NBA right now?
No, but what I'm saying is like in the NBA, like they give you a series to prove yourself, man. 7 games is have to prove yourself. Now there's
Look, you can't go on a run like the Knicks did and say it's fixed.
It's not fixed,
You beating teams by 50, 60 points, 30 points. That's not fixing the game.
Right.
That's not, the league is not going to fix it. If you told me, okay, 1 or 2 points in every game, I mean, I could understand. I'm not going to accept it, but I could understand you making that argument.
If it comes down to the last call in a lot of games, you can say that. But now, if it comes down to the last call, then not.
Yeah, the way, I mean, first of all, 283 points in comparison to the Warriors, you outdistanced them by, what was it, like 50 points?
Right.
Yeah. No, that's not the league fixing it. The Knicks did what, first and foremost, I said it before on other podcasts. I coached against a team in minor league semi-pro football, and they had a saying. They said, if they can't compete, blow them out.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. That's the mindset you have. If they can't compete with you, you can't control who you play. But if you can blow them out, blow them out. You're sending a message. And the Knicks did that. No disrespect to the Sixers, Mitch. Got love for you, but hey, they swept them. They swept Cleveland. They swept them. So I mean,
they did not just sweep Cleveland. They took Cleveland's soul.
Yes,
okay,
exactly.
That's what the first thing. That's basically what happened.
Yes, but that's
the
my
only
point.
And the only reason they ain't sweep the Spurs because the league was helping the Spurs. The referees are helping the Spurs so bad, man. It was downright gas.
We all know that because even in Game 5, there are a lot of people that were saying it. Yeah, first of all, you ain't going to throw Wemby out. And you didn't want, and I get it. He's supposed to be the face of the league, and it wouldn't, quote unquote, look good. But if you threw him out in Game 3, they don't win that game. And it would have been a 4-game sweep. And that's what I think the league didn't want to. Personally speaking, first of all, I predicted it. I said a gentleman's sweep on Kay's show. When they asked. So, I want to be right for my prediction. But seriously, I like the irony of it because remember, in 99, Spurs won 4-1. Well, guess what? We won 4-1. So, it's retribution. So there you have it.
And they did it on our court, right?
Yes, exactly.
To them.
Exactly. That's the whole point. So, it's like, you know what? It's 26 years later, but you know what?
It feels good. It feels good. It feels good.
You know what I like the most? The last 8 years, there was a different team winning the chip.
Right.
That's what I like the most.
They had a big debate about that on Get Up today.
Oh,
because they, what's his name? Vince Goodwill and Jay Will, they were arguing that they like dynasties because it's better for the league. Where they were saying, you like to have a little bit different, because it still brings the intrigue. Han was talking about now. He said, look, if you have the same 4 teams for the most part and you're rotating it, you're still having those same teams up there. But, for the most part, fans do get tired of seeing it because then they went to the Chiefs. They talked about the Chiefs. They said fans get tired of seeing the same teams up there winning the championship.
Cavs and Warriors. I was getting tired.
Yes, they talked about that too. It says it's different from when the Celtics and the Lakers were back in the 80s because they were the only teams that won back then. It was either the Lakers or the Celtics. But the NBA was just really growing, and that's what really sparked it. Then you went to the Jordan years in the late 90s, early 90s and down. When he won 6 in a row. So, and Houston in between. So, but then things started to change. But yeah, I do like it, Mitch. Like you said, I do like having different teams. So it can't be. You can't sit back and just say it's going to be this one. It's going to be that one. You may have an aberration here or there. But do you think OKC will go back next year to win it? There is the possibility. So, but the Knicks, as a Knicks fan, I want the Knicks to be the back-to-back. I ain't going to lie to you.
Of course you do.
Repeat.
Yes. I want that, but it also, More so, to be honest with you, it would solidify Jalen Brunson even more.
That's right.
Because then if you do back-to-back, all the naysayers, and then you're doing it back-to-back. And, so now you what does that say? First is, oh, well, this or that. You didn't face Boston. You didn't face Detroit. You didn't face OKC. Well, if you go back-to-back, that shuts that down. Then it doesn't matter if you face them or not. You're doing what, and again, I go back to, you can't control who you play. Now, if you're blowing everybody else out, what does that say?
Well, hold on. Didn't we beat Boston last year? I mean,
we beat Boston last year.
Beat with 6.
We did this year.
No, I'm saying we beat Boston on the road. They was the home team. We beat them on the road.
Yeah, we did too.
Yeah.
Right.
To feed off all that, prior to the postseason, everybody's like, "Oh, the Boston Celtics are the team to beat." This is prior to the playoffs. Celtics team to beat, Pistons team to beat. Okay, Detroit. They overcome a 3-1 lead versus Orlando, 3-1 deficit versus Orlando. They come back, win the series. They face Cleveland. They get blown out in their own building in Game 7. Cleveland advances. Who do we beat in the conference finals? The Cleveland Cavaliers. So yes, we topped all of them. Then you go to the Celtics and the Sixers. Celtics, they blow a 3-1 lead. Sixers take it. What happens? We beat the Sixers in 4 games. So technically, no. We were the best team throughout. I don't want anyone tell me, oh, the Knicks had an easy ride. No, they did not.
No,
they did not.
No. You handled your business and you took care of the teams that you needed to take care of handily. That's the point. Like, no one talks about that. You talk about, an easy road. Look, you're blowing the teams out. That's the thing that, they don't take into consideration. Right. You're blowing them out. I can tell you from experience, in as a coach, if you blow out the teams you play, it doesn't matter the outcome. It doesn't matter if you faced an easy schedule, because in theory, you blowing them out, then that means when you play tougher competition, you're going to be ready to play tough games. Case in point, the Spurs were up. The Spurs were up double digits, but the Knicks can't. I'm sorry?
The Spurs were the favorites in our series. They were the favorites the whole time.
Exactly.
Beat them in 5.
You beat them in 5. That's the other point. You didn't go to 7 games. You beat them in 5. You came back in every game and you beat them in 5. That talks about your mental fortitude. That talks about your talent. That talks about your coaching. You got to give Mike Brown his credit. He made some great moves throughout the course of the playoffs, even in the finals. Yes, Mitch Johnson was a first-time, really, he's a first-time head coach. So I do take that into consideration to a certain degree. But when you get to the finals, you ain't a rookie in that regard. No, you went through 82 games. Then you went through at least 12 wins to get to where to get to the finals. Right. So you're a vet. You have the experience. So Mike Brown outcoached him, and every other coach out there, Kenny Atkinson, Nick Nurse, outcoached them all. So I'm with Luka. You can miss me with all that other stuff.
But you gotta look at it. Our toughest series was the Hawks. They took us to 6 games.
No, the Hawks woke them up. It wasn't a tough.
I know. But if you look at it, analytically, if you look at it, they took us to 6 games because we beat them in 6.
Well, then you'll get Spurs who'll say, "Well, you beat them by only 2 points in the 2 games. When we beat you by 4 points." So I don't care. I don't care if we beat them in 2. They won 2 games and the Spurs won. Yeah. And bottom line is we beat you.
Let me tell you something with the Spurs. You got to be worried if you're a Spurs fan, because you was in double-digit leads on the Knicks in every single game. So what that tells me is the Knicks are spotting you points because they're not scared of you. When you can spot a team points and still come back and beat them, you got their heart. I would be scared of a team like that. If I'm up 29, 14, 18, and a team can still come back and beat me, that means they spot me points. I'm not better than them. I'm not. You're not.
I will say this during the regular, it just seems like during the regular season, the Knicks, for at least first 3 quarters, were on cruise control. But you get to the 4th quarter, especially when you give it to Jalen Brunson, and then they turn it up. And what did you see in the playoffs, especially in the finals? That's exactly what you saw.
And what is the other thing is this? Even with the Spurs, it's just like this. We played them 8 times this year. We beat them 6 times.
6 times. Yep.
We could have beat them 7 times or whatever. It's just like I always knew when we played the Spurs, they really don't give us no problems. You know, Spurs, like I said, we could handle the Spurs. I knew they was going to be a problem for us and stuff like that. I only wanted just with the referees. With the referees going to call it fair. That's all I cared about. That's all I care. Because I know the referees helped them. Because if they didn't help them, they was going to get blown out.
The referees did try and help them, and we still won.
Yeah,
we still won. We overcame it. So
and we beat them all 3 times in San Antonio on the road. We beat them on their home court. Not on how we beat them on their home court.
Exactly. So yeah, you're right. 3 times on their whole court. So you know that. Look, say what you want, whatever. It's bottom line is great run. You know, Knicks did their thing. You know, it would have been better if we took care of Atlanta and won those games also. But then again, would we have gone on this run? Who knows? Because the biggest adjustment, don't forget, started after game 3 when the team went to Brown and said, let Karl Anthony Towns be in the high post and be the facilitator to start the offense. So, and teams didn't know how to adjust to that, especially in the East. So, I will say the Spurs did. They put a small guy on him and got physical with him. First couple of games, he was dominant, but then he got into the foul troubles and the little things that that got him there. That got him in trouble early in the season. But yeah, Mets was saying it boils down to Brown's tactical flexibility, his pragmatism, and his intelligence in the moment. New York played 101 games. San Antonio played 105. Only Spurs gave the Knicks a problem. Yeah, in the playoffs. Yeah, defensively. So, but hey, we came away with the win. That's all that I care about. So.
Yeah, and they're supposed to be the number 1 defensive team. Yeah, Brunson averaged like 30-some points against them.
Yeah. And who ends up with the number 1 defense? The New York Knicks in the playoffs. The New York Knicks. And
just like I told you, Coach, Brunson, 95% of the time he playing people way taller than him, like 3, 5, 6 inches taller than him every day on a game-to-game basis, man. These other guys are not doing that. Dylan Harper's not playing guys like 6'8" and 6'9" on him every single time, and that's what I'm saying. Well, that's what the Knicks want to have to start getting bigger guards and stuff like that. Because we're gonna neutralize those guys. We're gonna come up with something, start neutralizing those guys and giving them a taste of their own medicine. That's why I like that's why I like a guy like Dylan Brooks, 6'7", 6'9". He's strong enough to really take it to those guys and shut them down.
Dylan Brooks is busy laughing underneath the hoop.
He's laughing at Shai Gilgeous. He's still laughing at Shai Gilgeous with his flopping all over the place. But he had that board game, right? And he had a cease and desist letter to stop that board game, the flopping.
We're gonna head out, guys.
Yeah,
we about ready to get out of here because Cave and I have been on here 3 hours, so and I know people got to go to work in the morning. So,
man, thank you, Mitch, for coming through, Luca, man.
Thanks, Mitch.
Guys, man, it's
Luca.
been man.
Of course. Here for you guys, even though it pains for me right now.
We'll be talking more tomorrow.
You're gonna watch the parade on Thursday, right? Everybody gonna watch the parade. That's gonna be another viewership to see how many people there. Everybody want to see how many people gonna be there. I think it's supposed to rain. It's gonna rain.
Just give me the drone shot. That's all I want.
He said the drone shot.
Yeah, man, that'll be nice.
That's it. That's all I want. All right, I'm gonna head out.
All right, be safe, man. Have a good one.
Yep.
All right, so appreciate everyone for being here. Great stream. Thanks to everyone for tapping in, for rocking with us. Again, make sure y'all hit the like button. For Cave, for Leaf, for Coach Ed, for
right here.
Knicks Cast, the Hardcore Sports Network, the Aboriginal Sports Network, for New York Liberty Courtside with me, Coach Ed. Appreciate everyone. Y'all have a great one. Remember the new show's name next week. You'll see it. Courtside View in the W. So it's right there streaming at the bottom. Courtside View in the W. So, but it's been a great honor and a pleasure being here with all these great content creators talking basketball, men's and women. men's and women's. So, but we'll be back next week for another one. And until then, y'all be safe and have a good one. Peace.
Yo, welcome to the man cave. Drown they legends. WNBA news. We about to ring the bell. Leave Diggy, Coach we got the scoop. On and off the court, watch the power move. Yeah. From the hardwood glory to the locker room chats. We cover it all, ain't no need for no stats. Whoa. Sipping on knowledge, pouring out the truth. Supporting the queens who brings the fire, that's the proof. So sit back, turn it up, let the stories unfold. Yeah, WNBA, we bring the heat, the future's bold. In the man cave where the legends collide. Leaf Diggy and Coach Ed got that East Coast pride. What? WNBA vibes, we breaking it down. From the game to the grind, let's wear that crown. Yeah. Stay tuned in, we keeping it real. The stories of strength and the heart that you feel. Hey. Dishing out knowledge like assists we aim. Whoa. In the man cave where we elevating the game. Okay. So grab your seat, let the action ignite. Yeah. WNBA, we bring it to light. Keep it tight.